Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, morning, noon, or night, or time zone, etc. And welcome to the snacky stream. Yeah. Hi Zayden. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you and welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. But yeah, like, literally tonight my original plan was to do 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫, and I'll be honest, probably about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, like, you know when you hit that point where your brain has finished learning for the day? Like, it's specifically that point where you know that, like, from that point on you are head empty. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I can't do any learning tonight. I'm cooked. I am well done. I am no longer raw. I am no longer mooing. I am charred and I am served. So, figured like, all right, what would be a good thing to watch on stream? And just looking at my random YouTube algorithm recommendations, because I do watch these things sometimes, because it's like, I wouldn't call it brain rot, but it's definitely something I just put on the background if my brain's just like, bleh. You know, like when your head's just bleh. So yeah, we're going to be watching, the video is called How 21 Sweets Get to the Grocery Store. Big Business Marathon, Business Insider, because gotta have those keywords. So yeah, get comfy, have a chill time. We're gonna find out how snackies are made, and we're all at some point probably gonna be like, damn, I really want chocolate right now. Hi Nix, hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome to the snacky stream. All right. Let's play it, because like I didn't test anything because my brain is cooked. My bad. Are you kidding, Ghosty? I always want chocolates. You kidding? It is such a meme with me that I always want chocolates, that even my coworkers bribe me with chocolates, man. Everybody knows. And I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing for me, but it's probably a bad thing for just health in general. But like, my boss is also a chocoholic, which means that when one of us craves chocolates, it's almost a guarantee that the other one's gonna get them, purely because I always go up to the shops every day for a little walk during lunch. And obviously they sell chocolates in the shop. And basically what she does, because she obviously doesn't just want to feel like she's sending me on an errand to get her chocolates. So basically when she wants chocolates and she can't be bothered getting them, she's like, hey, either I'll buy you a block of chocolate if you go get me a block of chocolate. I have had many blocks of chocolate that way. Very delicious. Probably very diabetes, but we don't look into those details. I'm on cooldown. Nah, for real, let me suffer. I'm watching this on my own violation. All right, and let me know, by the way, if the audio is fucky wacky or anything. I am free balling it. What's the word? Yeah, free ball. I was gonna say blue balls again. I'm like, nah, that's the wrong phrase. That's the wrong slang. All right.
From this 100-year-old factory producing chocolate.
All right, can you hear me over the top of it, or am I just like
crafting wagashi?
Currently doing Lego DC supervillains? Fuck yes.
Our first stop is Madagascar, the world's largest producer of vanilla.
Vanilla! Oh, there's so many vanillas.
The world's second most expensive spice.
Wait, they're green? Huh? But I thought they were brown. Oh yeah. They must do some magic to the vanillas. All right, so does the video need to be a little bit louder, or do I need to be a little bit louder? Sorry, my brain is like cooked right now, so if you don't spell it out like I'm a toddler, I am not going to understand. All right, the video needs to be a bit louder. Okay,
And the East African island of Madagascar produces roughly 80% of the global supply.
how's this? Can you hear the video all right?
Here, farmers have to pollinate 40 million orchids that only bloom for one day a year.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah? All right, you got to pull a flower thingy.
Vanilla bean or pod grow.
They look like
Inside are the
bananas.
seeds and oils used in
They look
popular
like
desserts.
moldy bananas. I mean, I
But
do like
Madagascar
vanilla.
is still one of the poorest countries in the world.
They look like bananas.
Volatility of
But
the
like
vanilla
really
prices,
skinny,
this
sad
bust and
bananas.
boom
You know what I
creates
mean?
such a toxic environment there.
Farmers can earn more when the price of vanilla is
Oh,
high, but rampant inflation often follows. And the big
oh
bucks
God, it's
attract
getting all
thieves
over our
who
hands.
attack farmers
I'm
and
way
steal
too
crops.
squeamish. What cooked the brain
Today,
either?
farmers arm themselves
Oh,
to
Nix.
defend their vanilla.
Oh, Nix. It's the thing that cooks all of our brains in a heartbeat. Tax income statement. Worst part
Farmers
wasn't
can fall
mine.
into
I
extreme
have to
poverty
learn
when
it for
prices are low.
work.
The
Simulated
government
tax
has tried to
income
stabilize the
statements.
price, but it's backfired. And now global customers are turning to other countries for cheaper vanilla. As locals fight to protect Madagascar's green gold, they worry how
learning
much more
about
they,
tax
the
right
land,
now.
and this crop can take.
I don't want this knowledge.
Isan'andro zany ny halaviran'ny lalagna imboako avy amin'ny tanàna mandeha amin'ny volanaha eo amin'ny 2 kilometra.
Yeah? Alright, so he does like a 2-meter,
Razafin
2
Salama
kilometer
grew up on a
wall.
vanilla farm, and 7 years ago he bought this hectare of land for himself.
Ooh, so he just makes vanillas.
Vanilla is an orchid that grows on a vine.
It's actually poor me.
Fandehan'ny vahitry
How's all of your days been, by the way? Give me all of the goss.
And it grows best in this rainforest environment, where there's plenty of rain and sunlight.
Yeah,
But
Ghosty?
vanilla isn't native to Madagascar.
It's like, I wouldn't mind
It's actually
trying
from
it.
10,000
Like, I wouldn't mind
miles
trying
away
doing like
in
a day of
Central
farm
and South
stuff.
America.
But I
Indigenous
feel like
groups
if I
the
did,
Totonacs and later the Aztecs
I'd probably like
cultivated
die in an
vanilla
hour.
for centuries. Thanks
It's
to
just
this
corporal
insect.
punishment.
Orchid bees are needed to pollinate the vanilla's flower,
Mm-hmm.
allowing a fruit, or that pod, to grow. After Hernan Cortez conquered the Aztecs, he brought vanilla back to Spain in the 1520s. It became
just gonna
popular
play.
across Europe in desserts like ice cream, creme brulee, and sweetmeats, which Queen Elizabeth I loved.
Okay.
Except the Spanish still controlled the trade.
My headphones
So,
volume
hoping to
control's
get in
being a
on the
bit
market.
fucky at the moment.
Other European countries tried cultivating vanilla on their own, but they didn't have that bee. So their vanilla vines wouldn't produce any fruit. Then in 1841, on the French-controlled island
Yeah,
of Reunion,
I probably
a
would,
12-year-old
Ghosty, you're not
boy
gonna lie.
figured out an answer. Edmund Albius discovered that the orchid could pollinate itself if he
Alright.
moved aside the membrane separating the male and female parts.
Not gonna lie,
Albius was born into
I
slavery, but
did
even
not
after he
think
was
that
freed
like
in
vanilla beans
1848,
came from
he
orchids
never made
specifically.
money
That's
off his
kind of cool to
discovery
know.
and died in poverty 32 years later.
Like, I don't know why,
France
but I
took
didn't
Albius's
think
work and
orchids
started growing
specifically.
vanilla
That's
on
pretty
the
cool.
French-ruled island right next door, Madagascar.
4
thrived here
languages
because
at
the
the
growing
moment, Nix.
conditions were
Holy
perfect.
shit.
Today,
Your
in
brain
towns
must
like
be like a
Razafin Salamas,
sizzling egg on
almost
a
everyone
summer
works in the vanilla
porch.
industry.
Good on you, though, for
And they
learning
still
4
hand
languages. That's
pollinate
actually
every orchid,
fantastic.
just like Albius did nearly
Oh, you gotta
200
help
years
your
ago.
people.
Each flower
Oh,
blooms for just
you can
one
do
day
it.
a
I
year.
believe in you.
izy koa fa halery asa folerany lavany dia tsy maintsy fatsika ohatran'izao zegny ampiasaigna andeha
Oh, to pollinate the flower, they must toothpick it.
raha
Yeah.
atao meky zany fleur po mety ho simba tsy atao mafy a izay
Oh, you have to do it
vita
gently.
zany ny fleur igny.
And there are
Razafin
seed
Salama
balls that...
works
Yeah,
alone and can
yeah.
pollinate up to 500
I knew
orchids a
that.
day. It takes about 9 months for a pod to grow. The price of this vanilla bean
Okay, yeah,
has
you know what, Nick's
skyrocketed in
totally
recent
fair.
years
Completely
due
fair.
to rising demand and the destruction
That's like
of
me
crops
with
by
writing at the
cyclones.
moment. Honestly, like my
In
brain has
2018,
been
vanilla hit a high of
hyper
nearly
fixated locked on my
$600 per kilo,
writing project
more
right
than the
now, and it's
value
like,
of silver.
oh,
It's since dropped to
it's like if I'm
250 a
doing
kilo,
that,
but
it
that's
doesn't
still
matter
a
what
lot.
state I'm in, I can do it.
And
But
those
anything
prices
else
are
is
really
like
attractive to
molasses. Just like,
Maharegny la vidy dia lasa nivadiky ny lohany mangalatra.
damn, those are 4 really
So
different
many farmers
languages.
in the region are arming
They've got
themselves
3 different alphabets in there. Honestly,
patrolling their
massive
fields at night,
kudos.
when thieves usually
Massive
strike.
kudos.
Thieves stole 20 kilograms of farmer Berlin Ronnery's harvest, leaving his vines bare.
Ah, yes. In the dead of night, I'm gonna sneak in and steal all your beans. Dun 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 dun. Nicky Beans. I'm a Nicky Beans. Nicky Beans. For eBay.
Nanomboky tamin'tao zay aho nizaha reto saboho sy ny basikily reto ko indesiko iarovako ny tenako sy ny fanagnako.
To be
In
fair, it would be
2018,
in fact
officials
quite
estimated
terrifying
10% of the
if
year's
for
harvest
some
was
reason
lost to
you
theft.
you try to steal someone's beans
Ito zay ny tragno
and then
anahy.
you just get shot and you're just like, don't touch my beans!
Fambolagna fitaova sady tsy ampiasagna lavany.
He often sleeps out here overnight.
Lasa miasa loha lava zany amin'ny fiambiasagna azy satria mpangalatra andeha handroba, andeha handrava.
Admit, those plants look like a weird mix between like aloe vera, cacti, bananas,
And
orchids.
because
They're very
farmers only get
interesting
one vanilla
plant.
harvest annually,
Raha ka fa very
Don't
agnatin'ny taogno
steal
raiky,
the beans.
mijaly izy sahirana na ny
Ah.
hanigny hohanigny tegna ampanahirana.
Oh yeah,
some of
absolutely,
the
Nick.
thieves are actually children, driven to steal because of poverty.
No.
They were held in overcrowded and unhygienic prisons in the northeast of the country for years without trial.
Ah, that's dog
Farmers
shit.
have started branding their vanilla beans with identifying codes, making the crops easier to track if they do get stolen.
Lord, they got
Another
reverse
protective
Morse
measure, some farmers pick their beans before they're
Morse
completely
code on their
ripe
bean.
to beat thieves to harvest.
Oh, my
And so
brain
the
is
quality
good.
goes down a lot.
Hi
This year,
Nova, how are you?
Raza
Welcome,
Salama was able to wait until his
welcome.
beans were completely mature.
Mazava ho azy fô 15,000 gosy ny hitretiny ho azo.
Morse
Farmers have to
beans.
move quickly because the pods start fermenting immediately once they're picked.
It's like
They
keep
pack the
talking
vanilla
and nobody
pods in
explode, but
40-pound
like
bags.
beans.
And haul the loads for miles along dirt roads to the market.
Oh, you're just entering the world of the living, land of the waking. No, for real, I hope you had a lovely rest. Sorry, I'm a little bit like cooked tonight, which is why we're watching people getting vanilla beans, apparently.
Traditionally,
It's a video full
middlemen
of
called
snackies.
commissionaires bought these beans in their raw green state, and they held a lot of
Okay.
negotiating power over the farmers, since the beans spoiled quickly.
The middlemen are definitely making a lot more money. They can kind of tell people whatever price they want.
So some years, farmers walk away happy. In other years, they can barely make ends meet.
I have heard farmers say
shitty.
things like, you have to have courage to plant vanilla because it may not be worth it at the end. You may not get anything.
Nowadays, Raza Salama sells his pods directly to a cooperative called Sahanala.
Manokana fa orinasany mpambony lavany jiaby mikambagna ao agnatiny.
Sahanala representatives check the bean quality and the brand on the bean, and pay the farmers directly in cash, cutting out the middleman and promising a consistent price.
Yeah,
Today,
fuck
Raza
you,
Salama
shitty
earns
middleman.
about $17 for a
Scamming
kilo
on
of
beans.
raw green vanilla.
No beans for you. Aww. Just because you couldn't read the Morse code, and I couldn't
Sahanala
read the
takes
Morse
the beans
code
to one of its
either.
processing facilities, employing thousands of workers across Madagascar. But even these large operations still have to protect against thieves.
Raha ny valeurany vanille izay hitantsika eto amin'ity toeran'ity androany a dia manodidina ny 2 380 000 euro.
Let me like do this.
The facility has electric fences, surveillance cameras, and private security patrolling at night.
Anisany antony mahatonga zany
Alright, my Fed bud's
fepetra
covering
rehetra
some of it.
noraisina iarovana ny
Not
lavany
bad, but you should be able to read a lot of the subtitles now.
asabidiny sy ny
And make it a bit nicer.
valeurany.
You can tell how head
But
empty I
it'll
was
still
just
be
setting
another
this up.
3 months of painstaking work before the vanilla is export ready.
Beans! Alright, they're putting the bananas
First,
on the
workers have to
table.
sort the beans by quality and size.
Yeah, I think I
Next, they
saw a
wash
thing on
each bean to
saffron like a
remove any
long
impurities.
time ago. It's like it's the 3 stems in that one flower, isn't it? So it's like stupid expensive because you
Then
need a
the beans get
shitload
dumped
of
in hot
flowers
water
for it.
to release the compound vanillin.
Oh hell yeah,
That's what
Nix.
creates the distinct vanilla flavor.
So what you can do, right? You get fluency, and then you can pick up the other languages as well. Yeah, they charge by the gram.
The beans need less than a minute, depending on how ripe they are.
Pretty sure even just get like 3 stems or something, it's like $12. You must cook the vanilla, or it will be the shitter. The garbage.
They have to
For
run the bean
trash.
baskets so they don't lose the heat from cooking. Workers move the cooked beans to boxes where they'll sit for 48 hours.
Oh, you want some
When
musty
they take the beans out,
beans?
they'll be brown.
Oh, musty beans.
Eto aoriana aketo zany a dia misy an'ireo ankizy a izay mitatitra lavany izay handeha ho atapy amin'ny masoandro.
$40 a kilogram. Damn, that is insane. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more though. Oh hell yeah, Nix. Oh, what are you gonna be?
There,
A
the beans will
polyglot,
stay
that's
for
it.
15 to 30 days, depending on the moisture inside.
Damn, that's a lot of beans. Protect the beans! Save the beans! Rescue the beans!
Zareo ireo zany a manao triage a manala an'ilay vanille tsy mitovy ny couleur anazy.
Ah, so
Zany
they
hoe misy
get...
tamin'ilay vanille somary
Alright, taking out burnt beans.
nandrahoana dia iny mila alana mba tsy afaka
Like, no shit beans,
In the
only
packaging
good
room, they
beans.
massage the beans to release the oils and the vanilla fragrance. Careful not to damage the beans, they group the pods in bunches. Then they check that there are no stray metals, like nails, hidden inside. Workers then weigh the boxes and package them for shipping.
You like a whole box of beans? Lasty, how are you going? And thank you for the resub, I appreciate it. Honestly, learning is genuinely fantastic. I mean, the amount of stuff I do just for the sake of learning. There's just something really fun about it, even when your brain is like
Exporters like
sizzling
Sahanala
on
earn the
fire, you
biggest
know?
bucks. This cooperative has a turnover of $40 million annually.
$40
That's
million
because
of
their
beans!
beans are worth a lot more. Today, Sahanala earns $250 per kilo for its cured vanilla.
Thank
A
you for the
1300%
resub,
increase from what
Ghosty.
farmer Razafi Talama
Appreciate
paid selling his raw
it.
beans.
The bigger problem is the volatility.
Oh my
of
god,
the
you
price.
see that? You see that, Ghosty?
Miakatra izy
You know what that is, right? It's a month off of 2 years. Lasty's
In
got.
those low-price
Lasty's
years,
still
farmers
got
live
4
in
months
extreme
until he's in
poverty.
the 2-year
Like
bracket.
81% of the country, many earn just $2 a day.
How's it feel? How's it feel to be absorbed for that long, huh? Huh?
So many farmers grow other crops, like vegetables and peanuts, to supplement their incomes.
And Ghosty has confirmed been in the pot boiling for nearly 2 years now.
ahafahako mamelona zay ara-tsakafo sy mampianatra zareo
Ary mitaza reo amin'ny lafin'ny fahasalamana afaka kamarady.
It's not
During
my
years of
fault
high
that you're
prices,
coming for my
farmers, middlemen,
grippers.
and exporters
Like
would
you're
make
about
more.
to sell them
But
at the
this also
markets for
drives up
50%
inflation,
off.
making everything more expensive.
In the ideal world, vanilla would consistently get a good price.
Ah,
To
yeah.
balance out the ever-changing
It's
price,
that big number
in
where you're
2020,
just like,
Madagascar's
oh, that's
government introduced
satisfying.
a minimum base price. Today, it's set at $250 a kilo for the exporter.
You know what,
They
Ghosty?
want to
Fair,
protect against
fair
this
point,
crazy
fair
up and
point.
down, right?
But it hasn't gone to
One
plan.
must not encrust on
Unfortunately,
Katie's
it
territory. That would be
appears
very
that
rude.
most people are not going along with paying that minimum price.
Global companies are turning to other countries that sell at cheaper prices, or they're buying synthetic vanilla.
Why would you
A
want my
lot of this
hands?
depends
Catch
so
these
much on the
icy
government
mitts.
of Madagascar.
Wait, no, you
and
can't take my
whether
hands, then I can't
they
write and I
will
can't doodle. I'll
change
just be
tactics and
sad.
go back
Or
to
I'd have to be
allowing
innovative,
their
right?
price to more accurately
And that
reflect
means
the global price.
I'd have to start doodling
Farmers
with my
are betting on
grippers
cooperatives
instead.
Like Sahanala
Do you want
to
gripper
alleviate the
doodles?
need the government can't fill. Sahanala can guarantee that its farmers make $17 a kilo, at least $2,600 a year.
Zay ahafahany miasa, ahafahany magnano.
It's okay, when my fingers get too cold, I pick up one of my cats and
But
give
as
them
they
belly
face
rubs.
theft,
Then
an
my fingers
unreliable
get very
government,
warm.
and shifting demand,
They probably
farmers
hate it
at the
though.
center of the industry are unsure of what's next.
They're right in front of the
Demand for
heater,
vanilla
passed out, by
is
the way.
continuously increasing, and so if Madagascar could find some stability,
They
and if these
are.
farmers could
They're
find some
so
stability,
chunky.
then there's no reason for the outlook to not be really, really good for vanilla in Madagascar. But
You know
it's
what?
hard to say
Even
what
though
the
there was
future
quite a
brings.
few insults in there, Nix, I will take
Ghana
it.
is the world's second biggest producer of cocoa, but the country only earns about 2% of the $100 billion industry.
Chocolate
Cocoa
time.
growers here export most of their cocoa beans to Europe
Ugh.
and North America, where they're turned into chocolate.
We are
Beans.
shipping out the cocoa in its raw state. And if you look at the value chain of
Damn
cocoa,
chocolate tasty.
money is made in the finished product.
Nom 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 nom.
While big chocolate companies rake in billions a year,
Nom
many cocoa
nom
farmers
nom
live in
nom.
poverty, earning just $2 a day. And Ghanaian entrepreneurs like
Expo.
Michael have
God, I
struggled
can't
to
believe
open
it's that
chocolate
time of the year
factories
again
in their
for
home
ya.
country.
We are trying to decolonize chocolate. This time around, we are saying that it can be done right here in Ghana.
Hell yeah.
Now, the government is
Everyone
funding
deserves
efforts to grow a
chocolate.
domestic chocolate industry. But can Ghana's entrepreneurs get a bigger share of the profits? We visit a cocoa
Gotta
farm
admit,
and processing
beans
plant
raw
to
don't
find
look
out.
too good.
Ghana, together with Ivory Coast, grows over 60% of the world's cocoa.
Well, I'm pretty sure the cats are
The
turning
countries sell to
5
all the
and
big
4
chocolate
this
companies,
year.
from Hershey's to
They're
Mars
getting
to Nestle,
middle-aged.
which process the beans abroad in mostly Europe and North
They're
America.
getting cat wrinkles.
Joseph
Hi, Gluggy.
Amaya Cocoa Farming.
Yeah.
For 18
Where
years
Ghosty lives, there's a
Joseph
cat
grows a
expo
lot of
every year.
acres of cocoa,
God, it would be
and
so
it
fun.
isn't easy. Farmers battle more extreme weather due to climate change,
Aw, Nix,
plant
I
disease, and
appreciate
fatigued
you.
land.
Mwah. I'll
Every
sizzle your
October,
brain like an egg on a street corner
he and
in the
his
middle of
family
an
begin
Australian
harvesting the
summer
yellow
any
pods.
day. Mwah.
It takes just 4 days.
But me try ben cocoa no kakra chain duano na boduano ho ban. Me koto
Oh.
sorry.
Do cocoa pods just kind of
yeah,
grow off
people
like
is-
wherever
oh,
on the tree?
Jumanimo.
So like they're not like off the branches, they're
Joseph
just off of
collects
the
pods and takes
wherever.
them to the breaking ground. Here, workers crack them open
Cool.
and remove the beans by hand. Joseph uses the leftover pods as compost under his trees.
Covered in random
yeah.
beans.
Yes, sir. Ahabai.
Oh, I know
yeah.
that turns into tasty chocolate, but yeah, it's making my brain
Joseph
go
then dries
near.
the beans for another week.
God,
In total,
God, I
he
hate
packs
sloppy
75
stuff,
bags of beans a
especially
year.
on my hands.
His income is about $27 a day. It's a high wage for a Ghanaian farmer.
I don't know,
because
Ghosty.
Joseph
I
grows
think they'd
organic
lose the
cocoa without
competition, but
pesticides.
like
But many farmers in Ghana
they'd
live
probably
at
still
or
be
below
loved. It'd
the
be
poverty
like,
line, earning less than $2 a day. That's because the majority
I mean,
of farms
Comet would
are
probably
small
steal
and aren't
everyone's
certified
hearts, but get
organic.
like a 2 in
According
every
to
school.
Christy, a cocoa scholar
Astrid probably get a
nicknamed
3
the
in
Doc
every
of
school,
Chalk.
but he's a scaredy
We're
cat in
talking
front of
about
other
really
people.
small
So
plots, and this is part of the reason why cocoa farmers are so poor.
jackfruit, yeah, it does a little
But
bit,
that's not
doesn't
the only
it?
reason farmers make so little.
cocoa's been farmed in Ghana for over 100 years.
Comments
there are many
no
parts
show,
of
cat.
the country where the
She's
land
the kind
is
of
really
cat, if you stuck a
fatigued
harness
now,
on her,
and
you'd be
the
dragging
trees are
her. She
old.
wouldn't be dragging you.
In the 15th and 16th centuries, Portugal and Spain monopolized cocoa, controlling production
my
and trade from their
streamer.
colonies in Latin America
Dramatic
and the Gulf
tear.
of Guinea. Europe's
You
elite
can do
were the
better.
biggest
No.
customers. The crop arrived in what's now Ghana in
No, I'm just
1876.
beaming. I'm just beaming.
Around the same time, the
I
British
appreciate
declared
Nix.
the
I
southern
think you're
region a
wonderful.
colony and began invading north. Locals own and ran all the small farms.
And even though
but the
my
raw
voice is
product
tired
was
and my
exclusively
body
exported to Europe.
is old, I'm
lot
full of
What
adoration.
we know today as like contemporary
I
chocolate
just forgot
really
how
grew
to start
out of
being the
this
adorationist.
trading
Yeah.
relationship between Ghana and Britain, including the flavor of
You need to
chocolate
tell I'm
itself.
tired. Oh my god, I'm babbling
Although
nonsense.
Ghana gained its independence in 1957, its
My
one-way cocoa trade in Europe
condolences.
still exists today.
Rude.
And it's kept farmers at the
Rude.
beginning of the supply chain in poverty for generations. To help raise farmer wages, Ghana and its neighbor Ivory Coast teamed up in 2019.
The two largest cocoa producing countries in the world, and so when they get together on something, everyone has to pay attention.
They introduced the fixed price system, which set a price floor for cocoa. In 2020, Ghana set the price floor at $2,600 a metric ton. That included a $400 premium added to every ton of cocoa.
And this value goes directly to the farmers.
The premium is called the Living Income Differential, or LID. It was the first of its kind in the chocolate industry.
And
it meant
look, I
farmers
stand
took
by
home
that as
nearly
well.
30% more
Anytime
money than
anyone's
the year
ever
before.
liked me, my first
At
thought has
first,
always
big chocolate
been,
companies agreed
are
to
you
pay
okay?
the LID.
You can't really not buy Ghanaian and Ivorian cocoa, so
do you need
the
help?
big buyers really
Blink
had no choice.
twice if you're in a
The
dangerous
LID's markup
situation.
may seem like a lot, but the millions it's raised to combat farmer poverty is a fraction
Jana,
of big
how
chocolate
are you?
makers'
Welcome,
sales.
welcome.
But soon
We're
after
learning
it
about
launched,
cocoa right
reports
now.
surfaced accusing Hershey's of
And
buying
I'm
cocoa
talking over the
without paying
lady, so
premium.
we're probably not
It's
learning
sad
anything,
to
honestly. My
note
bad.
That these companies who have the resources may not want to abide
I mean, like,
by
I'd
this
assume,
simple
I'd
appeal.
In
assume
an
you
email
could
to
make
Business
chocolate at
Insider,
home.
the company said
But,
Hershey
like,
supports and is
Look
fully
me in the eye and tell me
participating
that
in the
you
living
want to
income
trust
differential.
me to make chocolate
When the
from scratch at
corporations do
home.
pay,
I
the
don't.
LID
I
has helped
think I'd
farmers.
somehow accidentally, I don't know,
It's pushing farmers to even increase
create
their
a
yield. That's
potato
how come
over
last
creating
year,
accurate
we're able to
chocolate.
hit a record
Let's be
1.2 million tons of beans.
After farmers dry the beans, they're bagged up.
Oh my gosh.
About 70% of
Do
these
you need
beans will be
help?
sent overseas.
Blink
Ghana
twice.
processes only 30% of its cocoa beans domestically. But in 2020,
And now,
at a press
Shara, you've
conference
been
in
here
Switzerland,
forever.
the president announced he wanted to change that.
Mwah, mwah, mwah,
We
mwah,
intend
mwah,
to
mwah, mwah,
process
mwah,
more
mwah.
and more of our cocoa in our
Create an
country with
abomination.
the aim of producing more chocolate
I'm
ourselves.
trustworthy
And he
with
said
my
it right in front of the
microwave.
top
I've
commerce
never
ministers of
blown up a
Switzerland, one of
microwave.
Ghana's
Thank you very
biggest
much.
customers.
That statement in Switzerland caused a lot of
Ooh.
controversy.
Oh,
I must say,
honestly,
he
Jana.
clearly
Oh,
mentioned
I
my
felt that.
intentions
I
to put in
felt that.
effort
I was at an
to also
anime con
add
last
value
weekend, and
within Ghana.
holy crap, I was
support
only there
cocoa
for like
processing
4 hours,
inside
but I was
Ghana, the
tanked by the
government
end of
created a
it.
free zone outside Accra.
Very,
Any
very
factory
long 4
operating
hours.
inside gets a tax break. Lloyd Ashley runs niche cocoa industry.
Exactly,
in the free zone.
Sarah. And that was like
In
a
the freezer
complimentary, like you're here
Like
forever
getting 10 years
house.
free duty on your
No
imported parts or
taxes.
equipment, so it gives you the
Only,
opportunity to
only
also
your
increase
presence is required.
Niche has become Ghana's second largest cocoa manufacturer. The company says it processes 10% of the country's cocoa.
But still,
And
I
Niche
hope your con
processes
went
2 tons of it
absolutely
an hour.
amazing, Shana.
The cocoa beans
And I'm
arrive
going well.
here
I'm
from
just
farms
sleeping
all
because I did
over
learning
Ghana.
today.
Workers stack the
God
bags high
damn,
and cut
Shara.
them open one by one.
Damn, that's
The beans funnel into this grate.
Oh
on
my
the
god,
floor.
Shara.
And the
You're
rest of the
almost at 3 years,
process is
8 months,
controlled
right?
Digitally, from roasting the beans
You know what that
to
means?
grinding them into cocoa mass.
In 4 months?
That's then sent to get mixed with milk
In
and sugar.
4
And
months?
from there, it comes here for a tempering process, a cooling process, and then a packaging process.
Niche has been pretty successful, but for small
It's gonna
companies
be our
outside the free zone,
4-year
it hasn't been as
broversary,
easy to
boy
get up and
boy.
running.
Dear fucking Christ, I've been streaming for nearly 4
Michael
years.
runs Farafree, a cocoa maker that opened in
I'd say I
Anansi
need to
be
get a
closer to
job, but I
cocoa
already
farmers.
got one and I'm still
But
doing
since
it.
it's outside the
I'm
free
here to
zone,
stay.
It didn't get the tax breaks. Farafree also had trouble buying cocoa beans.
As shocking as that may sound, it's really hard in Ghana to
Look,
procure
Nix.
cocoa beans.
Every
Another
talent
hurdle
looks
keeping
good on the
Ghana's
recipe.
chocolate industry from taking off.
And oh hell
Well, it's
yeah,
very hard
next
to
1
make
year,
chocolate
6
in
months.
Ghana.
How's it
For
feel?
one, there's no dairy
You're in
industry.
the old
Anybody
squad.
producing chocolate in Ghana is
Ah,
definitely
yeah.
importing large volumes of milk.
You know what?
from either
The
Europe
important thing
or
is you had a
other
great time,
African
Jana.
countries.
That's the important
Chocolate
thing.
makers
And
also have to
you've
import
got all your
sugar,
bills covered
mostly
first, of
from
course.
Brazil. And finally,
Gotta be
it's hot in Ghana.
responsible.
Chocolate by its nature
But honestly,
is very
like,
sensitive
artisalis have the
to
coolest shit.
temperature. Any rise in temperature may cause the chocolates to melt.
There's not the kind of cold chain that you need to distribute chocolate effectively within Ghana or much of West
I mean,
Africa.
let's be honest,
building out
Shara.
that cold chain
Ghosty basically
has been
has
expensive.
like
We have used
a
insulated
very
building
large
materials
building with
for
barred
some
windows
sections of our building. Some sections of the building is completely
in the valley at this
insulated
point.
with sheet.
It could be a
Also, Ghana's power grid
mansion,
is sometimes unreliable.
could be a jail.
Electricity, for example, is
It all
another
depends
issue
on what
here.
Ghosty wants
Although
it to
there's
be, really.
power, it's never stable.
Farafreak's top sellers are finished chocolate bars. Inside temperature-controlled rooms, this machine pumps the chocolate into molds.
So our installation
Could be both. Could be
is
neither.
10,000 bars of chocolate every
I've
hour.
never locked. It's not
That's
a prison
fraction of
unless
what a
the
Hershey's
door's
or Mars
locked.
factory can do. This machine wraps the
I
chocolate
mean, the
bars.
valley's
With
locked, but
68
the door's
workers, The
not.
company's scaling up to produce 50 million bars a year.
The practice has always been that the raw
Think of
materials are sent to
chocolate.
Europe for processing.
Think of
But this time around, we are saying that it can be done right here. in
Mmm,
Ghana.
tasty chocolate.
sɛ yɛprocesse cocoa no ɛwɔ Ghana ha a, yɛbɛnya mu sika a ɛbɛba aban no nsɛm. Nti yɛbɛma yɛ akwan bɛyɛ yie. Let yɛn electricity nsɛm bɛyɛ yie. Hospital ɛne schools.
But Christie says the country still has a long way to go.
Living in
Definitely
prison.
no silver bullets for sure. When you have a whole system,
You
like
know,
colonialism,
there's
it
other
doesn't
sweets
shift
in this
quickly.
video that
While
I
there
don't know
are
what
5
they are.
times
We
more
might have some of them.
processing facilities in Ghana today than a decade
Yeah,
ago.
I'm sleepy. I've got
Most
like
only
that
process
post
cocoa
work,
into
like
intermediate
blah.
products,
You know
like
what I mean?
Cocoa butter, cocoa mass, cocoa liquor, cocoa powder. Not
Fuck you. Fuck you.
96% of Niche's business
Sobbing,
are these
crying,
intermediate
screaming.
products.
The worst part is I
Most
don't
of
get
the
paid
finished
for like
bars
2
are still made
days,
abroad.
3 days. I don't
We
even
need
know.
to
I think it's 3
increase the
days.
export of
Or is it 2
cocoa
days?
in a semi-finished and also
Ah,
in the
it's a
finished
couple of days before
Lloyd
payday,
wants to
so I'm
create demand for
pov.
finished chocolate within Ghana.
state. Cocoa consumption is very, very low in Africa.
Hell yeah,
I mean,
art
compared to
stream
Europe,
go
where we
brr.
have, an average 5 kilograms per person consumption. You're talking about 0.4.
I
in
love how
Africa.
when I see people
That's
donate
because
to the art stream, it's very
historically,
easy for
finished
me to
chocolate
tell
bars had
who'd
to be
been
imported
saving
from
their
Europe,
points.
So they cost a lot. To create new demand in Ghana, Niche is making a chocolate drink Lloyd hopes to sell in schools. He also
Gonna
hopes
have
to
that
source
good
ingredients
sleeping.
from inside Africa, dairy from Egypt, and
Oh.
sugar from South Africa.
Cool.
To train talent in Ghana, Farafreak started this lab and hired locals to develop new flavors. And for farmers, advocates want to raise the cocoa price floor to about $3,100 a metric ton. And they want big chocolate companies to foot more of the bill. Nearly every big chocolate producer has programs set up to lift farmers out of poverty. But by some estimates, 73 to 90% of Ghana and Ivory Coast cocoa farmers are still below living income standards.
If you're the CEO of these big companies, it's time to calm down and look at these yourself.
Oh
As the
my god,
industry is set to
Gusty.
grow about 5% in the next 6 years,
How's
Ghanaian
that
cocoa
make you
farmers
feel?
And processors are vying for a
See,
larger
this
stake
is why
in
you've
the
got
big
the
business of chocolate.
well-protected
Ghana ha no,
mansion.
anka cocoa companies and chocolate wɔn a wɔyɛ chocolate no dodoɔ mpo mmra country ha na wɔn bɛ processing cocoa no na cocoa na yɛdua yɛde yɛahoɔden ɛyɛ ho adwuma no dodoɔ no nyinaa yɛyɛ ho adwuma wɔ Ghana ha ɛbɛboa yɛn.
Fuck you.
ɛbɛboa ɔman no.
Why would you save up for that? Why would you save up for that? That's mean. That's supposed to be an unattainable goal. No
This is the
obtaining
oldest chocolate house
allowed.
in New York City. Exactly 100 years ago, Lilac Chocolates began serving this buttered
Just gonna
crunch,
start putting it
created
up by
its
like
Greek
1K
immigrant founder.
when you get
Today,
close
it's
to
run by another
Stephen's
immigrant
stream.
who's kept many of the original recipes.
No, I wouldn't do that. Probably because you wouldn't tell me how whereabouts you are on the scale. Because you know I would do that.
Anwar Coder oversees the production of over 175,000 pounds of chocolate a year. And he still
Yuckies.
manages to keep it handmade and fresh.
Nom.
New York City was a major chocolate hub back in the late 19th and early 20th
want the
centuries,
Dippin' Dotsy
with big brands setting up
thingsies.
their headquarters here.
I want
But
the
many
green
closed their doors in the wake
thingy.
of the Great Depression, or
Nom
were sold
nom
to other
nom nom
companies.
nom nom nom.
Lilac has managed to survive, despite
Tasty
going through several
truffle
different
in my
owners, and even having to
tum-tum.
relocate as rent soared. Its secret? Maintaining tradition, from its vintage molds to its tools, and most importantly, the recipes.
That's why we have a
Fuck
very
you.
loyal customer base. They know
Said with love, of course.
They know who we are.
We visited the artisan
Oh.
chocolatier to see how this New York
They dip the
institution
green
is still
things?
standing.
Okay. Looks like he's
At 8 in the
beating up
morning, a
Play-Doh.
sweet smell fills up Lilac's Brooklyn factory. In different corners, you'll see mesmerizing waterfalls of milk,
Like, I'd say it's
dark,
like,
and
damn,
white
it must be
chocolate.
so difficult to resist the urge
The
to eat
company prides
chocolate.
itself on
But
making
also,
its
I worked at
confections largely
McDonald's
by
for like
hand
6
and
months,
in
and
small
trust me,
batches.
you'll learn how to resist
That
the urge.
includes the
AKA,
founder's
you get
famous
so
butter
sick
crunch,
of it.
made the same way it was a century ago.
I think if I worked in a chocolate factory, especially if I was like
It starts with
nibbling
sugar.
at the chocolate.
Anwar
Oh
still
god,
uses a
I'd feel
scale
sick
that's
at
been
the
with
thought within
factory
6
since day
months.
one.
The scale itself
I
is
know, right? You know,
over
I'm like, man.
20 years old. I
Me
know
like
the
it, you
numbers
chucky
are
nom 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 nom
gone,
nom.
Faded, but I know where exactly, put it attributes in it.
After working
You could
here
just,
for
like,
34
print out a
years,
new version
he
of
knows
that,
most of these
right?
measurements by heart.
Right?
And this is what.
Or at least write on the numbers where they should go.
It's just the experience.
What if you get a noob in? What then?
He hand scoops tapioca syrup into the mixer. This is one ingredient Anwar updated
I always
over
want
the years.
Chuckies.
Originally, the recipe included corn syrup, but
I really
Anwar
like
says
chocolate
he's now
mousse.
opting for healthier
That's probably
alternatives.
one of my favourite when it comes to chocolates. I really like chocolate
He
mousse.
heats
I
it
think it's
all up so
tasty.
it turns brittle,
Nom 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 nom.
then adds roughly 15 pounds of butter.
The cooked butter is just, it just penetrates you, like your.
Oh,
it's in
he
your
said
head.
penetrate. I'm sorry.
To give it a crunchy bite, he adds 3.5 pounds of chopped almonds.
Nuts!
This layer of butter creates a non-stick surface on the marble table. The same one the founder
Marble's
worked
so
with a
pretty.
century
I like
ago.
marble. I think it's pretty.
The marble tables, they are a part of the heritage in this company. They are been here since 1923.
The marble
Old
pulls
marble.
down the sticky mixture while keeping it soft enough to shape.
One of the very old tools we have is still
Oh.
music to score all the candy.
I know, right?
Anwar and his team only have about 15 minutes
I gotta
to
admit, I
spread
don't
and
mind
cut the
chocolate
candy
cake.
before it hardens.
And you know what? Hey, any snacky, good snacky, am I right? So it's like I do like, definitely like Chucky mousse, lava cakes. I don't get them very often because they're very expensive, but lava cakes are so delicious. Macarons, but then
One
again, like
batch can make
almost every
1,500
flavor of
toffee
macaron
squares.
tastes like delicious, unless it's rose flavored macarons. Then they're
They
the
shred
nastiest
fresh
thing
almonds
known
into
to
a
man.
mountain of dust.
I don't know what they did to macarons for them to
And coat
deserve
the
to have a
candy in milk
rose
chocolate
flavor, because
before
it's
mixing it into
so.
the almond powder.
Like people complain about coriander being like soap. No, rose flavored
Throughout the day,
macarons are
Anwar
soap.
moves around the factory, overseeing the chocolate production line.
Champagne? Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, that's really fascinating to know, Ghosty.
He says he's memorized
Would make
most
sense,
of the
it'd
company's
be the cold
120
stone,
plus
yeah.
recipes. And about 65 of them made it into a recipe book that Anwar keeps in a safe.
The
Oh,
recipes was passed, through
the
employees.
secretest of
basically.
recipes.
And that's how it survived. We
Oh,
always
your
talk
mum
about
can
the
bake.
original
I think
recipe.
that's fantastic.
All of it in
That's so cool.
here. It's in pieces. They're not all together, Now I have them all in the computer.
Anwar also added a few of his own recipes, like for peanut butter cups and salted caramels. But 34 years ago, he didn't even imagine he would be running a chocolate factory.
Oh,
I wasn't like a chocolate fan, basically, to be honest.
what are you running a chocolate shop for?
I wasn't a chocolate fan.
He moved to the United States
I
from
know,
Lebanon
right?
to study computer programming when he was just 24 years old.
Oh, this makes me
But
want
he had to
mousse.
drop out after his first year. because his
Like that
family
big
back
machine,
home
like
couldn't
with
afford the
Chucky
tuition
mousse,
fees.
or cookies
looking
or
for a
cake.
job,
But like
part-time
when you
job
use
for
the
pocket
electric
money.
mixer, and once
He
you've
eventually
mixed it,
landed
you put it in
one
the
with
oven or
Lilac,
the fridge
just
or
before
whatnot,
Christmas of
and then you've got the
1989.
batter or like the mousse sauce or whatever left on the whisks. That big machine, like, you know, like as a kid, it'd be a thing where you get the whisk and you'd like lick the chocolate off the whisk.
Anwar looked for
That's what the big
opportunities to
machines are
make things
making
more
me think
efficient at
of.
the factory. In 2 years, he was promoted to master chocolatier and has been doing the job ever since.
Oh, so she's like a cook and baker by trade. Oh yeah, she'd be really good. Oh my god, pretzels.
As technology advanced, the company had to adopt to some modern machinery to help
and
ease
super
production.
salty, man, that would be heavenly.
Before, chocolatiers would hand dip every piece. But today, Lilac uses an enrobing machine that can coat 1,000 truffles with chocolate in 1 hour.
Damn.
If any piece requires some designs on it, if the design is made right here, and it goes through a cooling tunnel. And
Through
comes
the
out
chocolate
other
tunnel.
Side, ready to pack.
Very cool.
One of the factory's rules is to never freeze its products.
That's when you lose your quality. I mean, we are very well known for freshness. We make small batches.
Nom 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 nom.
These tempering machines heat, cool, and mix the chocolate. Without
Please,
them,
sir.
the chocolate may look dull. and
May
feel
I
crumbly.
have some more?
Employees fill up Lilac specialty molds.
I don't
And there
know.
are
Like, I'm a
about
bit hit or
1,000
miss
of them,
with brownies, I'll be
including one shaped
honest.
like Easter
Like,
bunnies,
I don't know. There's something about the
pizza,
consistency
and
of them. I'm
soccer
not like a
balls.
massive fan. I don't mind them, but I'm more into
Anwar
like
has
the
some that are older
chocolate
than the
consistency
factory
rather than the
itself.
cakey consistency. And brownies are like
These
a
metal
little
molds
close
were
to
made in the
cakey.
late 1800s.
Like, I'll still eat them because I'm an absolute chocoholic. But
This
like,
is actually an
I have
antique
my
mold, as you see, it's a metal mold. The images on it, there's no one
hi
makes them anymore. They are very rare to find.
Thank you for the follow. I truly appreciate it. Thank
And his
you.
collection
And
just
welcome
keeps
to the
growing.
Uncanny Valley.
Lamborghini, a Mercedes, a Porsche. Don't know, like from the 60s,
Oh.
maybe worst. Favorite? I like the
Yawn.
Bentley, the old one, the Bentley. This comes like this, you see. Come like this. Even the
Oh, that sounds like a-
it's a lot of work, you know, you can do it.
Oh damn! They even put like the wheels on and
Anwar
shit.
never says no to a custom order, no matter how challenging it may be.
Even if I don't have the mold, I would purchase it. So we're just adding to our existing molds.
Very cool though. Damn, that's a
This
fat
giant turkey mold
big 'em.
is almost 30 years old.
Jeez.
Anwar bought it to use as a window display on Thanksgiving week. A customer saw it and ordered 15 chocolate turkeys a day before the holiday.
Dang.
Anwar said yes, knowing what it would mean.
Why
I
would
didn't
you
go
say
home
yes?
that night.
Your employees are gonna
Spent
cry.
all night making turkeys for him. I'm very close
Oh,
with
come
him.
on, Ghosty.
I'm
Why
far
would
from
you
the
want to beat me, Why? Why?
Chocolate took off in
And
the
I hope
United
you're doing
States in
well.
the 19th
Pixie,
century,
welcome, welcome.
when it became faster
Hi,
to make it
hi,
using machines.
welcome, welcome.
Many iconic brands like Maillard's, Runkle Brothers, and Hyler's
Nom,
opened
nom, nom.
large chocolate factories in New York City in the late 1800s. Lilac was established in 1923 by George Demetrius, a Greek immigrant. But
Random
that era
dude.
of growth would come to an end as the Great Depression loomed. Lilac managed to survive, but it hasn't been easy. Ever-rising rent prices have threatened the business for decades. While Lilac shop stayed in the city, Anwar moved the entire production to its first Brooklyn factory starting Easter week of 2005.
The busiest week of the year. I moved the factory in 2 days.
2 days, damn, that's impressive.
Finding stable leadership has been a challenge too.
Ah.
The company has had 7
Oh,
different
that's
owners
cute,
since
Jana,
Demetrius
I love
died
that.
in 1972.
Oh, hell yeah, that sounds so good.
Anwar's dedication to Lilac
Plus
paid off
leftovers,
when he
you
became
kidding?
part
10 out
owner
of 10.
In 2011.
I do
Today,
like
he runs the
herb
business with
butter.
Anthony Cerrone and a third
I
owner,
haven't made it
Christopher
before,
Taylor.
but like I do like it when it's on stuff.
When Anthony came and he had in mind, if you want to grow the company, the only condition I have with him literally is I don't want to change the way we make chocolate, and this he was fine. He was fine with that.
We both agreed you never touched the recipes of an old school company. That's just something you don't do.
Since they began their partnership, Lilac has expanded from 2 New York shops to 6. But as the
Nice.
company continues
Dude's
to
good
grow,
at the businesses.
quality and tradition remain their priorities.
We sell something that's 100 years old, and people, you know, there's a whole nostalgia to chocolate. You have to know what your traditions are. We all agreed at the same time you had to keep the packaging and the brand fresh.
They make their chocolate in this roughly 9,000 square foot factory in Brooklyn's Industry City.
Oh.
Passers-by can peek through the glass window to see how chocolate is made. Anwar says
I
Lilac
know,
does not make
Pixie.
extra chocolate stock, use preservatives, or
Ooh,
freeze its
forgot
chocolate
you've
to sell
heard,
later.
but it does sound like it's really delicious, actually.
So during its busiest occasions, like Valentine's Day and Easter, the team works
that
to fill
sounds
orders
so
and
cool.
keep its shelves stocked.
You buy things, you know, 1 day old, made 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
They also started selling chocolates online and shipping abroad. But everything came to a halt in 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic forced Lilac to close its doors right before Easter.
No!
We really had a tough time during
Blue
the
balls by
pandemic. Employees were home
COVID-19.
and no one was working.
What Anwar wasn't expecting was that soon after, online sales would actually soar.
And for some reason,
Yeah, but like...
go to chocolate, you know, maybe make them feel better, make them, you know, feel happier, you know, for some reason.
Yeah, that's my great response.
We were only a few people here, and we're just
I know, right, Haya? I know, like, it's so cool.
And we don't have them freezed.
Like, fuck you,
you know,
COVID. Fuck you.
Keep up with it. Oh, we worked long hours, 7 days a week. We survived. That's what made Lilac survive the pandemic.
Anwar's vision is to make Lilac chocolates the best.
You want a
not
little
just in the
green
city,
nugget?
But beyond.
I would like to see the company as like #1 chocolate company in the United States.
Because
which is,
Grinch fingers.
What the #1 chocolate company is Lilac Chocolate.
For over 400 years, one family in Japan has been shaping rice flour, beans, and sugar into tiny edible sculptures.
Ooh.
These sweets are called wagashi, and making them is a precise and delicate art.
That's cute.
Confectioners have to be quick, and their hands have to stay at just the right temperature, or the dough is ruined.
Oh.
ですから昔の本当にうちらのその
Reminds me of Mooncake.
菓子屋ねって言ったらほとんどの
I know,
天
it's
井
so
人
pretty.
貴族ですね。天
That looks like a Pokemon.
しか召し上がらない。
𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫 is the 17th generation owner of his family's shop in Kyoto.
やっぱりお菓子はやっぱり好きで。
Oh, it's a little
でまあお菓子
pumpkin.
作ってて楽しい。
So
Oh,
how
fuck,
did
now I
this
want
dainty
nuts.
art go from a delicacy only a few enjoyed to a
Plonk.
national dessert? We went to Kyoto in Japan to find out
I
how
want to
these
go to
traditional
Japan and
sweets
have all
are
of the
still
nibbles.
standing.
Yes, 17th gen. I know, right?
𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮 learned to make wagashi from his father when he was 22 years old.
The
At
history
68, he trained
behind some of these
all the
snackies.
workers at the family's confectionery shop, 𝐿𝐿𝐶𝐿𝐿 Kiyonaga.
私の職人っていうのはこう見て覚えろというやり方やったんですけども、私はそういうやり方は絶対ダメで、もう手に取ってもう教えると。でもうやりなさいと。
That's a good method. I'm
They
with him.
specialize in kyogashi, a type of wagashi made
Oh.
only in Japan's ancient capital of Kyoto.
Oh my god, they literally do little ink prints on them. That's
和
wild.
菓子の中の#1が京菓子です。
Oh.
Most recipes start with simple ingredients like rice flour, sugar, and
I
beans.
know, right? It's so fascinating.
Pastry chefs heat and mix it all into a paste.
うちはもう材料惜しみは一切しないと。やっぱり一番いい材料を使っていい技でそのお菓
Just
子
a
を
scoop
作
of
って
going
いくというのが
blap,
うちの目標で
blap,
ございます。
blap, blap.
They strain the
Blap,
paste for
blap.
about 5 minutes to remove any lumps.
Ah.
Wagashi comes
So it
in many
requires a
shapes,
smooshing.
but there are 3 main varieties. Namagashi are soft and moist. Han namagashi ranges from gooey to dry.
You want some
and
moist,
hibashi
guys?
are dry and have a longer shelf life. Here,
Ah,
they're
dango's so
making a
good, innit?
namagashi shaped
I haven't
like
had dango in
chrysanthemum flower,
years.
a symbol of fall.
That's
Just
actually-
a few drops of dye will colour
Oh.
the dough to the right hue of pink.
Wow. And then they just kind of mush it around until it's
色
pink.
も決め手ですからね。
The amount of effort that goes into that is really
その
cool.
ものになりませんので。
Hi, Carbon BT. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And welcome to Snackies.
Getting the perfect colour is essential for 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮.
Hiya.
でバーッと押してると。バッと私が購買見に行った。これちょっと
Well, it's probably easy for you to
バ
make.
ッと捨てますよ。もうやり直しなさいと。
It's got the same vibe as when someone's like, man,
Timing
macarons are easy. And I'm like,
everything.
what do you mean if you can make them?
Pastry chefs have to sculpt the confectionery in about 2 minutes. If they work too fast, the design will look sloppy.
They've got to be
Too
careful,
slow,
but
and
not
the sweets
slow.
absorb body heat and won't turn out well.
Oh. That's cool. Just like the level of detailing going into it. You know what I mean?
𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮 is the only tool they use to
No.
sculpt the petals.
I would never.
If one line is out of place, they have to start the process again.
私自体がお菓子を作るのに、
Well, that's a little bit
一つ
excessive.
一つ我が子のように作ってるので、
I make every sweet like my children because they're designed to be feasted upon.
Chrysanthemums are a Japanese
Insert
national
bloody
symbol
Hannibal
and
Lecter joke
represent
here.
longevity and rejuvenation. The country's changing seasons shape the sweets.
Tee
Pumpkins are made only in the fall, and cherry blossoms in the spring.
Oh, they got little gummy
季節の
leaves.
折々を自分で勘に取りながらお菓子を作っていく
Hey,
のが
I'm not the
楽しい
one who said that the sweets were like children. Because you eat
形で
sweets.
表現できるなら素敵だなと思い
𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮 is involved in every step.
ですからそれ以外やったら別に何でもしますけども、まあ何でもやりますよ。それ何でもできんとね、やっぱりねこう注意できないんですよ、社員に。
He mostly follows old recipes and styles, but has also added new ideas to the menu.
Nom nom nom. I would like nom noms. I want to eat them.
He mixes yellow and pink food dyes to create the perfect orange hue.
Hi Kaya. Hey, welcome, and thank you for the follow.
And techniques.
聞くといえばそういう
the pumpkin
本もあ
looks
ります
so
んで
cute.
和の昔の絵
I
に
want
描
to
いたものなん
eat
です
it.
けど、そんな見てもやっぱり同じものになって
I am definitely suffering.
Records show that Japanese envoys brought wagashi-like sweets from China around the 7th century. Sugar was a rare
you.
commodity, and only aristocrats and the wealthy could afford it.
Oh
𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮's
god, Pixie, that would be
ancestors learned how
such
to
a
make
job, wouldn't it?
wagashi
It's like,
when
I'm a
priests
professional
had opened
sweet
their shop
tester,
in
so hand me that lava cake and I'll
one of
make
only
sure it's good.
28 shops chosen to cater to the royal family. They delivered their sweets to the palace in boxes inlaid with mother of pearl.
でこれを預けて帰ってきて、
おー
また別の日にこれを引き上げに行きながら次の注文をお聞きして帰る。
綺麗だ。
Western confectionery began arriving in Japan during the late 19th century, after the country opened its ports to foreign trade.
Oh,
Wagashi
Japan has such
literally
delicious
translates
looking
to
snacks, am I
Japanese
right?
sweets, and it became the term used to differentiate between the two. 𝐿𝐶𝐶 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮 offers a wide variety of confectionery every season.
Put in.
The shop also makes ryokan, a hannamagashi type. Confectioners make the base with red adzuki beans, brown sugar, and agave, a jelly
Oh, that
agent.
sounds delicious.
Once
Nuts
everything
and
is
red
boiled,
bean.
They pour it into a mold.
Put in
And
mouth.
mix in walnuts.
Please put in mouth.
The name of this ryokan is 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮, which translates to moonlight.
Can you
It
put the
cools for at
moonlight
least
in
2
my
hours
mouth?
before it's ready to serve.
Nom, nom,
To
nom,
contrast the
nom,
moist
nom.
desserts, the shop also makes higashi, the dry sweets.
I want them red bean
Workers
and
press
nuts.
the dough in traditional wooden molds.
Oh, it's so
This one
crumbly.
translates to good fortune in Japanese. Higashi sweets are small in size and have bright colors.
Translates to
and
good
detailed
fortune, because
designs.
when you eat them, you're eating your fortune.
そのまあいろんなお菓子
No,
があって
obviously
何
not.
の味と言われるとちょっと難しいんですけども、やはりこう心が通じると言いますか。
I'm just gonna live vicariously
Wagashi
through
comes in
Ghosty.
numerous shapes and
Because Ghosty's
styles,
going on a trip to
influenced
Japan
by
soon, so I'm
each
just gonna live
region's unique
vicariously through them.
and geography. Each piece is named after a season or a reference from Japanese classical literature.
No.
But when it comes to enjoying the treat, Kiyowaki says simplicity is key.
だから手でパクッと割るのがやはり素朴に食べていただいたらいいじゃないですか。かっこ悪いことはないとは思いますんで。
Just go to Japan one day and just eat all of the snacks. It's like, how was your trip to Japan? I don't know, but the snacks were
The
good.
practice evolved into a social gathering for friends and became a ritual that represents harmony and respect. Wagashi's sweetness made it the ultimate dessert to serve in these ceremonies, to complement the bitter tea.
Oh, tea ceremonies.
まあつなぎっていうのが、まあお茶とお菓子はまあ切っても切れない中と。
Fuck you, Az. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
どっちのおうちにしてもお紅茶にしても。
Me want tasty ocean treat.
Today,
Me
wagashi
want
is sold across Japan, from specialty shops to
Me want
department
sweet
stores
treat
to
from
street
the
vendors.
beach.
Despite the competition, Kiyowaki never cuts corners when it comes to the materials and production methods.
This is making me specifically want strawberry daifuk mochi. Oh god, I'm an absolute hoe for strawberry daifuk mochi. Nom 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 nom.
He
So
knows
good.
he has a long history to live up to.
でこれは私の父の16代でございます。こちら母でございます。
Oh.
He is working to pass this tradition on, but says the hardest part is securing workers.
やはりまあ職人にしましてもやっぱり自分も将来は自分のお店を持ちたいという夢を持ってうちへ来ております。
For now, his best strategy is to keep sales stable. One way of doing this is to appeal to the younger generation.
それをいかに和菓子屋にしていかの今の若い人にもやっぱり受けんと飽きませんので。
I've been attracted.
好まれるちょっと
I'm ready for the wagashi.
お菓子も考えて。
The youth are ready.
But long before social media, 𝐄𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫's place in history was documented in this 300-year-old book.
You can pay me in snackies.
これはなかなかないもんで、もうこれをなくすと何もありませんので、日頃は銀行の貸金庫に預けて。
I love how they're not bothering to blur it, as if they've completely forgotten that, like, yeah, sure, the average viewer can't read that, but I'm sure there's at least one person who can read either Chinese or Japanese going, oh, these are the secrets, huh? Alright, I'll write them down.
A mainstay in pop culture and lunchboxes.
Why the fuck are we going from delicious-looking wagashi to fucking Twinkies? Talk about whiplash, fuck me. It's like sweet, delicious, authentic, historic sweet. Fucking Twinkies, brah!
But two bankruptcies, heavy debt loads, and changing tastes pushed Twinkies off shelves and almost to their death.
Yeah, don't smush it. Why the fuck are you smushing it? What is wrong with you?
Crazy stuff, right? It was like the death of a piece of Americana.
But just when everyone thought that they were gone for good, Twinkies rose again. So what happened?
Stop it! Ugh! Gross!
Twinkies were invented in Schiller Park, Illinois in 1930. This guy, James Dewar, managed a bakery plant at the start of the Depression. He wanted to make better use of expensive strawberry shortcake equipment sitting unused when strawberries weren't in season. So he stuck banana cream in a shortcake. Dewar sold the Twinkies in packs of 2 for 5 cents. When bananas were rationed during World War II, the simple vanilla cream we know today became the filling. In the next 2 decades, Twinkies and its parent brand Hostess dominated the packaged cake market. Marketed to children in everything from TV commercials to Batman comics. Twinkies rose to the status of a
I
cultural
have
icon.
fear of what an American Twinkie would taste like.
Here's a swell dessert that you can take along with you.
Because I know it's like a fact that like a lot of sweets in America, a lot of food in America actually, like does not taste the same as the version of the sweet that's given everywhere else, because we all have strict food laws, I suppose.
The culture of America.
So like,
In 1971, the brand introduced its mascot, Twinkie the Kid.
I'm sorry, that mascot looks like a penis.
The anthropomorphic cowboy
I
Twinkie
can't.
became popular
I'm
among
sorry.
kids for sharing
I'm
his
sorry.
views
It
with kids.
does. It
But glowing
does.
talk of Twinkie's high
It
sugar
does.
content would soon butt heads with the brand's kid-friendly marketing. First, the Federal Trade Commission came down on Hostess for false nutritional claims. The agency
Pixie
concluded
got
that sugar
KO'd.
was the main ingredient in Twinkies. And then in '79, the
Look,
trial
it
of a San Francisco
does.
man charged with murdering the mayor gave rise to the term Twinkie defense. The defense team argued he had diminished capacity.
You know what?
thanks to his
Figures the
addiction to
American
Twinkies,
treat has a
and
full
the murder
true
charges
crime
were
segment
lessened
in
to
it. What the
manslaughter.
fuck?
It was a
Everywhere else
trial
is
that
just
balked at the
wholesome
cake brand Hostess was
history,
trying to build.
happiness,
wholesome
and
Hostess
then like
meets
the
my top
American
standards.
sweet comes along and it's
So
like
when I
murder,
say yes,
death, and destruction. What the fuck?
Then began a string of new owners for Hostess. In the 70s, telephone company ITT ran Twinkie's parent company. In the 80s, dog food maker Purina
They also
acquired
have
Hostess.
ding
And a
dongs
decade later, it landed
and
under its
ho
final owner,
hos.
Interstate Bakeries Corporation. The sale created the largest baking company in
Yeah,
the
they know what
US,
they're doing.
with at its peak 50
They either know what they're
factories, over
doing or they're the
10,000
dumbest
delivery routes,
motherfuckers on
a
the
boost in
planet.
Twinkie
They probably
sales,
just know
and
what they're
$3.2
doing.
billion in total sales. But in the late 90s, America's changing tastes would soon spell trouble for the sugar-packed Twinkies.
The fall
With the
of
growing
the
popularity of
Twinks.
low-carb, Atkins, and later the South Beach diets, some Americans were becoming more health-conscious. Loaded with
Just
calories,
randomly
sugar,
shaking
and
his
preservatives
ass.
most people hadn't heard of, let alone could pronounce, Twinkies became a casualty of the health revolution. Sales fell and then flattened. In October of '98, because of missed earnings, shares dropped 25% in just one day. But it wasn't just the product that was the problem. Pensions and raw goods got too
Oh,
costly.
I've been
As
here
other food
this
companies were
whole
modernizing
time.
manufacturing, Hostess ran inefficient factories, operating at 54% capacity utilization.
That's very poor in the manufacturing world.
The company also relied on a tired delivery system.
A DSD model, direct store delivery model, has really high costs because you've got trucks, drivers, gas, insurance that you have to pay for. And you're going to every store in America every few days to drop off product.
Delivery alone ate up 36% of revenue.
An important way to capture this moment in time would be by filling a national time capsule.
In 1999, President Bill Clinton included a Twinkie in the National Millennium Time Capsule. So Twinkies still had a huge fan base. But by then, the damage to Hostess's bottom line had been done. By 2004, Twinkie's parent company
Think about it for 2
filed
seconds. They
Chapter
put a
11
Twinkie in the
bankruptcy.
American,
Over the next 5 years,
a
Interstate cut
Millennium
7,000
Time Capsule.
employees and shut down
Y'all,
8
it's
factories.
2025.
The
That
company
means
came out
there's
of
a
bankruptcy in
25-year-old
2009 and
Twinkie in
rebranded
there, and I
itself
don't know
Hostess
what's
Brands.
more
But it
terrifying,
didn't work.
that it's a moldy disaster or that it looks the same as it did the day they put it in.
Didn't get solved through that bank.
I don't know
Then
what's
the recession
worse.
took a huge hit on Hostess's bottom line, with year-over-year sales down 20%.
I don't know.
To make matters worse, a worker
They
strike
just
and labor
dropped
dispute
that
soon
bomb
followed.
and moved the fuck on.
Production stopping, and the management team then threatened to shut the company down, given pressure from its
These
creditors.
Twinkies got
And that's
so
exactly
much
what happened.
drama.
By January 2012, with nearly $1 billion in
Twinkie
debt,
moldy
Hostess
as hell.
Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy again.
The company that makes Twinkies, Wonder Bread, and Ding Dongs announced this morning that it is going out of business.
In November, Twinkies were pulled from shelves, and
Ding
headlines
dongs.
across the country reported the death of Twinkies.
Hostess had to
Losing
die.
their minds over it.
People who would have never cared about the Twinkies, in fact, suddenly wanted them, right? Or thought, oh my god, well, if they're going away forever, I need to stock up.
The rush was on to grab the last of those tasty treats.
People scrambled to get the last Twinkies off those store shelves.
It was like the death of a piece of Americana.
In December
I
2012,
remember those Hostess
began laying
cupcakes.
off
They
all
tasted
its
like
employees.
ass.
Things were looking bad for Hostess, but this guy still saw value in the nostalgia attached to the brand.
There was a real brand here, and it's hard to kill a good brand.
Andy is half of the duo credited with saving the Twinkies.
If you polled people age 20 and over, there's 95% brand awareness. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's not every day that you can buy a brand like this that's ubiquitous in consumers' mind and has leading market share, had $1 billion in revenues, and an 80-year legacy.
After the second bankruptcy, Andy approached
He looks like
legendary
he's
investor
going,
Dean
"Nyeh."
Trowis about joining him in rescuing Hostess.
Man, even the sandwich
Dean had
sounds good.
turned
Didn't even try.
Dean's reputation historically really fit well for this.
But unlike the first Hostess bankruptcy, in 2012, there was no coming out of it with a simple restructure.
That bankruptcy process was unique because it turned into a true liquidation and what's known as a 363 asset sale process.
Basically, what was left of Hostess was sold for parts. Instead of having to inherit that expensive delivery system, underfunded pension plans, and old union contracts, Andy could cherry pick what he and Dean actually wanted and forget the rest. So the two showed up to the 363 asset sale, ready to fight for Hostess.
Not one buyer showed up other than us. Anybody could have showed up and topped our bid, and nobody showed up. It was frankly very surprising to me.
Andy and Dean purchased Hostess for $410 million. Out of the sale, they got the Hostess brands, including Twinkie, recipes, and 5 factories.
That's it. There was no employees, there was no ingredients, there was no inventory, and I have to tell you, it was very odd during diligence walking through plants where when you walk in, they're empty, and the person who's walking you through the plant has to turn on the lights.
And quickly, Andy and Dean got to work fixing
They just
the
bought
company.
some clout. That's about
First, they tackled that delivery system.
How you
The old company
going?
did direct store delivery. We were going to transform it into a
I
distribution
know, right,
warehouse.
Pixie.
Instead
Honestly,
of going direct
they're
to
always
different groceries in
commodifying
America,
us.
you then
They're
go to
never
Walmart
crediting us.
distribution centers or Kroger's distribution centers instead, and then they ship it out to their various stores.
But in order to move Twinkies through a warehouse,
We're watching
they
snacky
first had to
videos at
increase
the moment,
shelf
got
life.
up.
Historically, Twinkies only lasted 25 days.
People would put Twinkies in their earthquake shelters because everybody had this perception that Twinkies would last forever. That really wasn't the case.
Andy and Dean invested millions to develop a Twinkie that tasted the same, but lasted longer.
We're at first able to get the shelf life to 45 days and then ultimately to 65 days of shelf life. And so that really helped get the retailers comfortable that they could take it into their warehouses and that the product quality would not be compromised.
Imagine having
The
a
new recipe
bombshell
and
and be
warehouse
like, I'm going to
delivery model
fill it
helped
full
cut
of
delivery costs by
Twinkies.
20%. It also meant Hostess could affordably deliver Twinkies to drugstores and dollar stores, markets they'd never reached before.
Dollar General became one of our top 5 customers.
Next up, Andy turned to factory efficiency. Andy and Dean wanted to be able to make $1 billion worth of cake yearly, but with a ninth of the labor.
Twinkie in the capsules a moldy mess.
We ended up getting to 85% capacity utilization plus.
Finally, the
Why
duo
did
worked
people
on
even? I
innovating
mean,
the
I guess
product
it's
line
America.
with smaller pack sizes and mini Twinkies.
Those products really didn't get the resonance in the marketplace, and so then we just jumped wholeheartedly into embrace the brand, embrace what you are, which is indulgence.
The team had to make all these changes in a matter of months. In July 2013, the once dead Twinkies returned to shelves, to tons of fanfare.
The world is a better place tonight
The
because
Twinkies
are
lived.
back.
Using this as a selling point. I know, right?
History of ever. It all went viral. It was really kind of unbelievable. A lot of that
Jeez.
excitement and buzz, ironically, could have never come about if Twinkies never came off the shelf.
The trite saying is what? You don't know what you've got until it's gone.
Twinkies quickly sold out in stores across America.
During our first year,
What are they,
we had
Air Jordans?
$5 million in revenues from nothing, with profit margins of 27% in a company that lost money and had to go bankrupt twice.
By 2015, Hostess was making 1 million Twinkies a day, $400 million a
Jeez.
year, and $180 million in profit. At the
Wait, how does
time,
that make
Twinkies
sense? If
made
you're
up
making 1
80%
million
of the
Twinkies a
company's
day,
product output, and
technically,
the success
by
just
that
kept growing.
logic alone,
2016,
you could
Apollo and
only make
Metropolis took Hostess
365 million
The IPO
Twinkies a
valued the
year.
company
So
at
if you're making
$2.3
400 million
billion,
Twinkies
nearly
a
5
year,
times
you
what
are
Andy and
making
Dean had
more
paid for
than
it.
1 million
Apollo and
Twinkies a day.
Metropolis's gamble that Americans still love Twinkies had paid off.
Yeah.
But was the beloved snack revived for good?
Yeah, they went bankrupt twice.
Relatively flat to a little down, but overall the health of the
How
company is very strong.
Vegemite
The
capture makes
coronavirus pandemic has
sense.
helped Hostess.
That's because a lot of Americans are buying more
Honestly,
food,
when it comes to
especially more
Vegemite, I think the most
processed
cursed thing
foods.
I've
But the key question
ever
going
seen
forward is, to
was
what
the
degree will that
Vegemite Cadbury collaboration.
Alex says adding more limited time offer flavorings like peppermint and s'mores Twinkies could help, or diversifying into new product lines, like Twinkies cereal.
Twinkies a big brand, but at the end of the day,
How the
Hostess is
hell
probably
did
the
your
largest
name
that
pass the
diversify.
census?
And while
Fucking
diversifying
hell.
certainly might be part of it, Hostess's greatest success has come from leaning into Twinkies nostalgia.
The will always have a special
Bonjour,
place
sir.
my heart
Nut
and my
twiddler,
stomach.
testicle tickler. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And I do hope you're having a wonderfully chaotic game because of the nickname like that. Oh yeah, every day's chaos,
Its two
huh?
Vermont factories run 24/7, operated by hundreds of flavor makers. Together, they pump out nearly 1 million pints a day. From
Ben and
classic
Jerry's.
flavors like Cherry Garcia and Half-Baked to flavors on a mission for criminal justice reform and refugee rights. And all of those flavors have to be delicious.
Blem, blem,
Our
blem.
minimum run size once we get a flavor to the
Ice
factory
cream.
is 80,000 pints. So not
Damn.
only do we have to love it, but 80,000 fans have to love it too.
We visited the St. Albans plant
Such
in northern
expensive
Vermont
ice cream,
to see
though.
how these famous pints flip their way to our
I
freezers.
don't like ice cream, but I fuck with Ben and Jerry's.
Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield started Ben & Jerry's homemade ice cream in 1978. From a renovated gas station in Burlington, Vermont, they launched a brand based on sustainable ice cream making and advocating for causes they believed in. And it worked. Today, Ben & Jerry's is the best-selling single-brand ice cream label in the U.S.
Damn.
To pump out its iconic flavors, first it starts with ingredients.
Ah,
Ben & Jerry's partners
you
with
like
250 farms
I'm not
globally
going to continue
source
that
everything from
sentence.
vanilla bean to milk. Milk comes from the St. Albans Cooperative Creamery, just a mile and a half from the
Really,
factory.
Connor?
Once the milk's at the plant, it heads to
Honestly,
one of these massive
you should give them a shot.
6,000-gallon
Like, they're not
silos.
bad. Like,
But before it can be made into ice cream,
I
everyone
like
involved
I
has
like
to
them on
suit up,
occasion. I think like
including
I'm
us.
with Ben and Jerry's.
Gowns,
Like I'm.
hairnets, caps, and boots.
I wouldn't scoff Ben and Jerry's
To make
always,
the
but
ice
like
cream
there's something
base,
on like a
milk
rare
heads to the
occasion.
blend tank. Cream, milk,
What are you
and lots
talking
of
about,
sugar
Ghosty?
are
I
churned
didn't
together.
say
The
anything.
factory
It's not
goes
my
through
fault you have an active
6,700 gallons
imagination.
of
Cough,
cream
cough.
every single day. Every ice cream
Man
flavor
witch.
starts with either a sweet cream base or a chocolate base. Next, the mix master will pour in eggs, stabilizers, and cocoa powder if it's a chocolate base.
Juggies.
Then it's piped into the pasteurizer. You can't see it happening, but hot steel plates are heating up the mix to kill any harmful bacteria. The
Yeah.
newly pasteurized milk is stored in a tank for 4 to 8 hours, so the ingredients can really get to know each other. After making the two bases, they'll head to one of the 20
It's not
flavor
very
vats
rock
to get a
and
flavor
roll.
We're always coming up with new flavors,
Mean.
hundreds of flavors a year, and we usually narrow it down to about 3 or 4. We really love to bring our social mission values into our naming process. For example, empowerment to talk about voting rights.
Before Ben & Jerry's famous chunks can be added, the mix has to get to below freezing temperatures. It's pumped through this giant freezing barrel,
ice, the
and when it
baby.
gets to the front,
Boom, boom,
it's
boom,
finally
boom,
ice cream.
boom, boom.
Along the way, it's quality tested, meaning lucky factory floor workers get to taste the ice creams. Then it goes into the
Man,
first
can
of
I be
2
a Ben and
freezer
Jerry's
visits.
quality tester?
When it comes
for
out, it's 22 degrees
reasons?
and somewhere between the consistency of a milkshake and soft serve. Now for the best
Cough,
part,
cough.
the chunks. Founder Ben
Honestly,
actually
Power
didn't
Mint
have a
does go
great
pretty
sense of
hard,
smell,
doesn't it?
which meant he couldn't taste much either. So his big thing was texture. That's why Ben & Jerry's has some of the biggest chunks in the ice cream industry. These chunks end up in flavors like Half-Baked, 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫, or the one we're making, Chocolate Therapy. Workers dump in add-ins through the chunk feeder.
I
From
need
brownie bites
therapy.
and cookie dough globs to chocolate chunks, fruits, and nuts. They let us give it a try, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Aw.
Then it's
It's like
finally
dream
time to
job
pack
right
those
there.
pints.
I'll
Workers
die,
stack
but
the
I'll
empty
die
containers
happy.
into the automatic filler. The machine drops the pints into position and perfectly pumps in ice cream. It can fill up 270 pints a minute. The
Damn.
pints are pushed towards the litter and sealed tight.
The
At
litter.
this point, 6 pints every hour are pulled off the line for quality testing. Quality assurance personnel first cut pints open. They're making sure the ingredients are symmetrical and there aren't any big air bubbles.
There is a small gap, but that's called what we call a functional void. If we saw large voids, it would be concerning. It's actually quite the workout, as you can tell.
They also measure the weight and volume of pints to ensure that the right amount of ice cream makes it into each container.
So we know the weight of the ice cream, and anything below 460
Hi, Kaito. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
passable.
Now back to the factory line. It's now time for
Could
the
you
pints
imagine
to
being
take
an
a
ice
second
cream
spin in the
fanatic in this
freezer.
factory?
The ice cream
Like,
has to
oh
get
wow,
even
it's
colder,
quality
down to
testing
minus
hour.
10 degrees.
Ah, what a
The pints
shame.
travel along
I
the
guess
spiral
I'm gonna
hardener, a
volunteer.
corkscrew-shaped conveyor belt inside
well,
a freezer.
I guess I've
With
got
the
to
wind chill, it can
volunteer
get up to
again. Oh
minus
well,
60 degrees in
I
there.
guess it's time to
After 3
volunteer
hours, the pints are
again.
finally frozen and ready to be packaged.
It's like,
They're flipped
it
over
doesn't
and
mean full
shrink-wrapped
life. I'm
into
like,
groups of 8.
it's time
Together
again.
they make a gallon.
Guess I'll
But you'll never actually see a gallon tub
No
of
one
Ben &
else
Jerry's
wants
ice
the
cream
job.
because the company never wants its ice cream going bad sitting in the back of your fridge. Once the pints are packaged, they're ready to be shipped across the
Ah,
globe.
you're right, all right.
Every cheesecake squirted out of this machine costs
Hi,
twice as much
Shelter
to
Zim.
make
How
than
are
it
you?
did a
Welcome,
few
welcome,
years
and
ago.
thank you for the follow.
Junior's pumps out, bakes, and packages 5 million cheesecakes a year.
Oh, cheesecake.
And the company has used the same recipe since the 1950s. But it's gotten a
Please,
lot
sir.
harder. First,
May I
there was a
have
cream
some
cheese shortage.
cheesecake?
You can't make cheesecake without cream cheese. It's impossible.
Nom,
And now, inflation has caused the prices of other ingredients to soar.
I mean, it's not the same
I've
thing.
been
Well, it
doing
is,
this
but
for
it isn't. But I really
33
want Uncle
years,
Tex's
and I've
now.
never seen a time like this, ever. And I can venture to say if my father was alive, he never saw a time like this either.
Now that
Aww.
he's taken over, Alan expects a tough
I know,
work
right?
ethic
Caught
out
that.
of all of his employees.
Sandwiches. It's not great, Moss. Am I wrong?
Third generation
Giving
owner Alan
girls
Rosen
and girls.
takes us behind the scenes
It's like watching a baby being born, to me.
to see how Junior's
Ew.
keeps rolling out its famous cheesecakes
Do
in
not
the face of shrinking margins.
Do not compare food to childbirth.
Here in New York City,
One
Junior's
is
an
edible.
institution,
One
but
I'd
its
like to
cheesecakes aren't
fucking
actually
hope
made
is
in the
not.
city anymore. In 2015, the company moved to this New Jersey plant.
No.
When we took over this building because we didn't have the space to do it out of Queens.
240 workers whip up millions of cheesecakes and layer cakes here every year.
Oh.
Not surprisingly, every batch starts with the most important ingredient.
This year we'll
My
probably
mouth.
go through about 7 million pounds of cream cheese.
Junior's partners with Kraft Heinz, the maker of Philadelphia cream cheese. Workers unwrap each of those giant blocks of cream cheese and tip
Damn.
them into the mixing bowl.
That's
So
oodles.
far we have cream cheese.
That's
we have
oodles.
Sugar, we have eggs. Still to come, we have some heavy cream, some
Nom,
vanilla,
nom, nom,
and I think that's
nom.
just about it. It's kind of simple.
Workers roll these giant mixing
After
bowls
stream,
over
I'm going to
the
start
assembly line.
writing, but I'm just going to write
To speed up
constant food
production,
scenes.
Alan added automatic depositors.
She has an amazing
gets
fight,
pumped
and then
up
her
here
hand
into
falls
here.
on a chocolate
This
bar
is going to meter out exactly the right
made
amount.
with fresh
First,
cacao
workers
and
drop a slice
vanilla.
of vanilla cake,
Nom,
not
nom,
graham cracker
nom, nom.
crust, into each pan.
We use cake on the bottom because this is a recipe
He
that my
runs from the
grandfather
enemy
created in
into the
1950.
hands
It's a lot of work just
of
to
a
make the
fresh
bottom.
cheesecake.
Slowly, the pump works its way through the
Philadelphia
entire
cream
batch of
cheese.
batter, plopping
Mhm.
perfect dollops into each
Fresh from
Then
the
this guy
fridge.
knocks out any
Strawberry
excess air.
flavor. Nom.
pan. On this line, they're making strawberry swirl cheesecake. The swirl used to be
But
piped
all
by
of my
hand,
friends are
but this
dead,
robot
he
took
said.
over the gig
And
in
she
2017.
replies, well, did
Next,
you know that the
cakes had
vanilla
to bake.
bean comes from an
But
orchard
this
flower?
step also has a unique twist.
And it's
lot of
green
bakeries
when
use
you pick
rack
it off the
ovens
tree.
Where you just slide the whole rack in, slide the whole rack out. It doesn't work
Oh,
for our
no.
cheesecake.
His team bakes the dense cakes in a water bath.
You know, cinnamon is bark.
Spreads the heat evenly. The
Oh,
bottoms of the
no.
cakes don't burn. They rise up like a souffle. You can see how the cakes are literally above the pan.
When they're golden brown, workers pull out the trays and pour out leftover water.
That looks so good.
Then, they test the internal temperature.
Oh, they're even fluffy.
They take temperatures for food safety, but I can see with my eyes.
After they've rested, the cakes aren't jiggly anymore.
We don't do jiggly, we do juniors.
What does
Using
that
this
mean?
repurposed pizza oven, bakers can heat the pans
Nom,
just enough
nom,
to release
nom,
the settled
nom,
cakes.
nom,
After the
nom,
cheesecakes get
nom.
decanned, we bring them into our blast freezer.
Alan keeps it at a balmy 0
And then you
degrees
bring them
inside.
into my
But it's not just
house.
plain or swirled cheesecakes in this freezer. The company
Alright,
whips
no
up
jiggle.
dozens of different flavors
God,
of
my mouth.
cheesecakes, layer cakes, and desserts.
It's supposed to
The
make me
chocolate
feel
mousse
better.
cheesecake is hit with a heaping pile of mousse, doused in a waterfall of
covered in
chocolate and covered in mini
mousse.
chocolate chips.
How
There's
it's
also the
covered in
pumpkin layer cake
mousse.
cheesecake. Robots and bakers
Oh, that
work
sounds
together
so
to ice it. Leftover cake tops are ground up to make the crumb
Oh,
that
it's
goes around the edges.
cheesecake covered in
All the finished and chilled
mousse.
cakes converge on the packaging line. From the pumpkin cheesecake to the 24 mini cheesecake variety bound for Costco. Workers place each cake in a box,
too
slap
many
on a label,
cheesecakes.
and put it in an even bigger box. That all heads to the
I
freezer
don't have
a
cheesecake
second
very
time.
often.
This
Super
will all
delicious.
be gone within 30 days.
Oh.
Right now, it's enough space, but I can see maybe next year us needing even more space. This is going around the whole country.
Most
Damn.
of the 6-inch cheesecakes end up in one of the 12,000 supermarkets.
I'd ask if it could come to Australia, but I feel like it probably doesn't meet Australian food laws.
Alan's
Food
grandfather Harry
regulations.
Rosen opened up the first Junior's location on Election Day in 1950.
He said if we're
And it's a good-looking cheesecake, though. You
Some people venture to guess that my grandfather.
For
named it
real.
after his two
I'm
sons,
just sitting
Walter
here
and
with my
Marvin, my
cold
father and
feet,
uncle,
my
but, Jews don't
non
really do the
desserts.
junior thing, so
Oh, num num
that's all out
num
the
num
window.
num
Over the
num.
next few decades, Junior's
This is a
popularity
terrible
soared.
idea. Now I'm really.
It wasn't long
I'm not
before
even hungry.
celebrities
I
and
just
politicians
specifically
were
want
digging into these iconic
snackies.
slices.
We started a mail order business late 80s, okay,
Yes.
before food by mail was a thing, and people were calling from Florida and California. Then 1995,
Hi,
we
Nana
met QVC.
2939. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And welcome, welcome.
We went on and I think we sold 2,400 cheesecakes in like 6
Well,
or
what
7
if
minutes.
she watches
Today,
the
Junior's
VOD?
has 4 restaurants in the New York area, a quick service at LaGuardia Airport, a direct-to-consumer business,
Hi,
and
Fort
a
Master.
booming
How are you?
retail
Welcome,
presence.
welcome.
Oh, we're definitely the biggest cheesecake company in New York. So the top seller in our restaurants is either strawberry cheesecake or New York style cheesecake.
Visitors
30
from all
bucks.
over the world stop in for a slice.
Yeah, my name is Marvin. I'm from Germany. Brownie explosion cheesecake. I think it's like a full meal.
If I ever went to
But keeping up with
America,
all
I
this
think I
demand for
would
cheesecake
die from the
hasn't been easy,
food.
even for a giant like Junior's. In
Damn.
2020, the pandemic shut down all of the restaurants.
I sort of
Ah,
joked
you're a
with
fan
my
of Cookie
mom
Run, I see.
that thankfully my dad was was deceased before COVID, because COVID would have killed him, not the disease, but the fact that his restaurants, his babies, were not doing what they were supposed to do for, in some cases, 14 or 19 months.
That's very
At the time,
business
the company's
words.
direct-to-consumer sales actually doubled.
Nom,
but then
nom,
came the
nom.
great cream cheese shortage of 2021.
Last year we started to, like, we heard about it, and then all of a sudden,
great
Jason called me
cream
and says,
cheese
"There's no cream cheese."
shortage.
I'm like, what do you mean there's no cream cheese? You can't make cheesecake without cream cheese.
A cyber attack hit a cream cheese factory in Wisconsin. It wasn't Philadelphia's facility, but Kraft faced spiking demand and supply chain issues of its own. The company struggled to get a hold of starch thickeners and packaging materials.
Why would
Without
you
any cream cheese,
cyber
Allen
attack
had to shut down the
cheese?
factory. And the team missed a couple of big orders.
And a couple of orders for us are trailers full, about 70,000 pounds. So
Ooh,
it's a
lemon
big
zest
deal.
cheesecake sounds so
I was
damn
sweating
good.
it out. Pretty good.
By early 2022, Kraft had restored cream cheese supplies to Junior's.
So we
Yeah, but think of it
are
this
one
way,
the
Az,
biggest
right?
users of cream cheese in the
Guns are
country.
like, you
Just in
never know
time
when you're
for
going to
inflation.
encounter one. But
Every ingredient is
food
up right
you
now,
have
from
to
eggs
eat.
sugar, heavy cream, but cream cheese is definitely the
Zana,
highest priced ingredient
welcome
that we
to
use right now.
Snackies.
Allen says the price Junior's pays for cream cheese more than doubled, from $1.50 a pound to over $3.
Damn, oh, that is
Demand,
rough.
it's based
That is
off of
rough.
markets, and dairy prices are just very high right now, and that's why it's affecting the price of cream cheese. Everything is up. Labor obviously is up.
Junior
That's
sales
the
have
sound of a
bounced
water
back to
bottle
pre-pandemic
opening.
levels, with 110 million in expected sales this year.
But costs have escalated so dramatically that profits in the restaurant business and the wholesale business are way down.
Allen said profit margins dropped by 6%.
Oh, it's brutal. No, there's
So
no
the
doubt.
question
It
is how
the
big were the
hardest
profit
time of my
margins
life. I mean, I've been
first?
doing this for 33 years.
Because if it's
and
like
I've
the
never
profit
seen a
margin
time
was
like this.
12% and it dropped by 6%,
Allen
that's
made the
rough.
decision to
If the
raise
profit
prices.
margin was
Our
50%,
product
then
cost
shut the
has
fuck
literally
up,
doubled
Buttercup.
For cheesecake. Double. We can't double our prices. That's impossible.
But
Ghosty,
Allen says higher retail
I would
prices
elect to
haven't
not
stopped
answer
customers.
that question.
No, not at all. I've had their cheesecake hundreds of times over many
It's
years, believe it or not. From when I was a
Clearly
kid.
tea.
Restaurants kind of around where we're from ordered this cheesecake to
Think
be
of cheesecake.
shipped to Oklahoma City.
But even if food costs continue to rise, Alan says he'll never touch the
snack
recipe.
documentaries are fun. I love like these like snack documentaries and like the like there's another one as well that like I want to watch, which is called the world's priciest art and art supplies. Like ones where they just make shit. It is so interesting to just watch
So, how does he
people
plan to
make
stay
shit.
afloat? One, with those robots, and then with new products, from cheesecake shakes to
Oh,
updated
Jesus,
cake
fuck
flavors,
that.
like this strawberry Christmas cheesecake.
Oh my god. That is so good.
Nom, nom, nom,
And finally,
nom,
Alan
nom,
says
nom,
diversifying helped him weather the storms of recent years. Of course, Junior's has the restaurants, but what it makes from supermarket sales is quickly catching up.
I would say it's about 50-50. The restaurants drive about half the volume of the company, and this drives about half the volume of the company.
No, I
think the fact that
haven't,
we are
Ghosty.
diversified is what
No.
saved us.
Oh, give me all the
this
goss.
business
Give me all the goss.
sustainable if
What's
food
the
prices keep
Stationer in the Year
increasing?
winners? I want to see
And you
that.
know what? It's the tell will be in the next 3 months. I think it's sustainable because I'm
Got
a big
you,
believer in our
Xana.
business and how
Get
good we are
yourself
at it,
some
and that everyone's gonna
snackies.
want a cheesecake.
I'll live vicariously through you.
These little
Ooh,
marshmallow
peeps.
blobs are being blasted
I've
with sugar
seen
and
these
color.
around. They're the little
Osborne
bird
can produce
marshmallow
5.5 million
things.
edible chicks and bunnies a day in this facility.
Wait, they
I
make
think
rabbits?
they're so versatile, and there's really nothing like Peeps. They're really irreplaceable at Easter, but also at the other seasons.
From
They
their
make
Easter bunnies
rabbits?
to Halloween ghosts, Peeps are a household name.
Thought they just made
corn syrup, and
chickens.
How can something so simple be so delicious?
Every year, people compete nationwide to make the best dioramas.
Oh.
They've stuffed themselves in the 100 Peeps challenge and even
I
popped
hate
them in
that.
the microwave to see if they'll explode.
Fat
make
peeps.
up 70% of Just Born's annual revenue. We visited Just Born's Pennsylvania factory to see how these iconic treats come to life.
Always interesting watching packaging.
Sanborn started the company
Never
in
goes the way you'd think
1923
it
in
would.
Brooklyn, New York. Bourne was a candy maker by trade and earned a name for himself through his confectionery innovations. He created the technology to make sprinkles and invented a machine that inserted the sticks into lollipops, which actually earned him the keys to the city of San Francisco in 1916.
That's
After
pretty cool. He
introducing
made
popular
sprinkles.
Candies like Mike and Ike's and Hot Tamales, he bought the Rhoda Candy Company. But it wasn't because of the marshmallow chicks.
Just Born was actually looking for jelly bean technology.
The Peeps fell into their laps sort of by accident.
We found that they were making Peeps by hand in the back room. By pastry tubes, they took 27 hours to make.
Just Born decided to ramp up production of these gooey treats.
Our founder's son, Bob Born, he actually mechanized the process, and thankfully, because of him, we are all able to enjoy a lot more Peeps.
Automating meant building a
So
top
many
secret machine
marshes.
called the depositor, which could spit out rows of marshmallow chicks at once.
So the way the machine works, and this is actually proprietary, so nobody can actually see the
Send me
chick
the
being
link.
formed.
Send me the link.
Now the
I
process
want to
of
have a
making
look.
Peeps
I want to
takes
look at
just
the
6 minutes from
stationery of the
start to
year.
finish. So
Or
what's
post
inside?
it in stationery
There are
yapping,
4
either
basic
way.
ingredients: sugar, corn syrup, gelatin,
And
air.
depression.
They all combine to make a marshmallow base. But making that marshmallow isn't easy. Cooking and setting it takes hours.
It's very important because Peeps have to be a specific density when they're deposited on
Okay, that
the
sounds
belt
kinda
to
cool.
make
Yeah,
sure
I wanna
that
have
the
a look.
marshmallow is stable.
The 6 minutes began when the marshmallows hit the production belt.
For the chicks, those are just deposited. For our 2D shapes, it's basically like a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
There's already a thin layer of colored sugar on the belt. Just Born makes 19 colors of sugar, but
Yellow is our most popular color for chicks and bunnies, followed by pink and then blue.
I'm gonna see the
The
blue
sugar
one.
is colored
It's
in
probably
these
like
giant
ice
bubbles.
watering.
The Peeps move on a conveyor belt.
They go into an enclosed
The little
area
ploops.
that's covered so that when the sugar blows around, it's contained. It's very quick.
Any sugar that doesn't stick gets recycled for the next batch on the belt.
Huh.
And Peeps aren't exactly known for their nutritional value.
Yeah, no.
Each chick has 6.8 grams of carbs, and
Damn.
6 of those come from sugar.
There's diabetes.
Then it's on to the most important part.
Peeps become Peeps when they get their decorations. So when they're chicks
Depressing
and
in the
they
morning.
get
I
their
know,
eyes
right?
added, when they're bunnies and they get their nose added, that's when I would say they officially become Peeps.
The decorations are made with edible wax, then squirted onto the Peeps with precision.
We have
Edible
an entire
wax.
QA team that checks everything frequently
Ew.
throughout the entire production process. We also have associates who
Couldn't have been chocolate
check
or
for
something. No, it's
decoration
wax.
and making sure that their eyes are in the
Edible
right spot.
wax.
We manufacture Peeps
Fuck, that
all
sounds
year long.
nasty.
We produce the most Peeps for Easter season, But because they're on shelves starting really in January, we are producing them in the summer and fall.
But there's a reason Easter is the brand's time to shine.
Oh.
Peeps are an Easter tradition. Families have passed them down through the generations.
I love how
So
you
if
post
grew up
like
with
a
them in your
reaction
Easter
channel
basket,
as
you're
well.
likely going to put them in your child's Easter basket.
But in order to keep up with Easter demand, the company had to make a
Oh
hard
yeah,
choice.
get your chicken.
Part of the reason why we
I
made
know,
the
right,
difficult
Cora?
decision to not produce our Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's Day Peeps this past year was to ensure that we had the supply that people want for Easter production.
A pack of 10 marshmallows can cost
Wow.
less than $2, and they're sold everywhere in the United States.
Fuck
and
you,
Canada,
every
at
other
grocery stores and
holiday.
pharmacies.
We focus on one
Though
and
the
one
pandemic
only.
shifted what consumers bought in
Easter
2020,
Peeps.
Just Born says Peeps sales didn't drop.
All Easter Peeps had been in stores for a couple weeks at that point, and in fact, a lot of our customers still went out to buy Easter Peeps because it was that sense of normalcy people were seeking during the pandemic.
But this year, the company has been adapting to changing trends.
Oh
It's
god, they're
launched
doing something
initiatives
else.
like Peepsonality Live on Instagram.
Welcome to the first ever Peepsonality Live. I am a Peeps mega fan.
Where it's hoping people make this Peeps Play-Doh.
I just used all the Peeps that I had to make this, but I will open a pack right now and snack while I craft.
Peeps have been around for more than 60 years. But
Whatever
Just Born
makes you
thinks there will
happy.
always be new ways to use them.
Peeps are a big part of American culture. In fact, we see the characters as icons because you can do so much with them.
Is
Whether
this
you're crafting
true,
crowns,
Americans,
investing in
or is that
Halloween,
just
Peeps have
corporate
staying
bullshit?
power and don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Tucked away in the city of Glendora, California, is a small donut shop that's always busy.
Strawberry donut?
Locals come in for their
You
daily
can't
coffee
fit that
and
many
donut,
strawberries
but
in the
there's one
donut.
thing that
There's
brings
not
people
enough
from near and
space.
far to the donut man. The famous strawberry donuts.
There's not enough.
Yum. This is delicious. We really
Dude,
love
just
it.
serve it with a
Really good.
fork at that point.
Really delicious.
Like, I appreciate they're giving oodles of strawberries, but just sell it with a fucking
I got it
fork.
everywhere, but really good.
This is my first time having this donut. The fresh strawberries are really, really good.
Oh, I would need a fork with that. Oh, I don't want to touch that with my mitts. Oh god, it's getting
Jim
everywhere.
Lozano
There's
opened
not
the
a fucking
Man in the
donut. It's
spring
getting
of
everywhere.
1972, but it wasn't until 2 years later that one fruit changed his business.
Well, the reason we got into it is my
Found
wife
us,
said,
the donut man.
Let's go for the American dream. In about 1974, a friend of ours who grew strawberries, because this area was all strawberries. On the other side of the hill, that was all strawberries. But in
I mean, it's good that
74,
they're giving a shitload of
he came to
strawberries,
me
because
and
like in Australia,
Jimmy
like
got
they
come up with
skimp
the
on the
strawberry
strawberries like
donut.
crazy.
He
But
said, "I
also
got
like,
so much, it's our supply,
oh,
whatever
you better give a fork with that
So it's
shit.
okay.
That's not
And I
a
had another
donut.
friend
I don't know what that is
said,
anymore. That's a
"I'll help you,
sandwich. It's not even a
make the
sandwich.
glaze and everything," 'cause he had
It's a
bakery and all
chair
that.
full of
As soon as we-
strawberries. It's an edible
tried it,
chair full of strawberries.
we realized that we had a good product.
I know,
You
right?
could
Got
use
it?
it for the morning,
It's like,
breakfast.
are you
It's a
okay?
good
It's okay. I just
snack,
had a strawberry
lunch,
donut.
or dinner dessert.
The shop makes hot donuts 24/7. They use potato flour and live yeast when prepping batches of dough.
24/7.
How long the dough proofs and fries for depends on the temperature and humidity inside the shop each day.
Donuts. Look at all those donuts. Not a single one will fit the strawberries
The team
they'll
mixes
shove
fresh
on
strawberries
top.
with homemade strawberry jelly filling before stuffing a generous amount into the
Ooh.
donut.
Oh, yeah, it's a generous amounts of
The
words.
strawberry donuts are only served from
Ooh.
February to September, so we had to see what all the hype was about.
Jeez.
We're gonna get some donuts. We're gonna get some donuts. They have the classic chocolate swirls. They have their peach donuts.
Oh
But
god,
I'm here for this bad boy, the strawberry donuts.
those are not donuts, they're just edible napkins.
So a lot of people drive here from all over California to try these
Hi,
donuts. They
Spreadable,
stand in line
hi,
at the doors
Sprinkle
with the
Mush, how are
cake.
you? Welcome, welcome.
let's dig in.
Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it.
They're all gonna make a mess, whatever.
Don't just,
Ooh,
don't touch it. Every part of my brain's
it's gonna
going,
be a mess.
don't touch it.
Look at that. It's like a burger
everywhere. It's gonna be all sticky and shit.
But it is good. The donut's nice and crispy on the outside, which is pretty good. I love how it has kind of this like
I'm
texture
sure
on the
it's
bottom.
delicious
That makes sense.
with a fork.
But it's not too sweet. It's not like an overwhelmingly sweet donut.
Why are you wearing white?
Is use a fork. Don't do what I did.
Use a fork. Yeah, fork. Fork, not get covered in jam.
Not only is the Donut Man famous among locals, but we met people from all over the state who came down to try it for themselves.
Hi, Sprinkle.
Well, it was bookmarked on my Yelp for 3 years, so I was like, one day I'm gonna go. Came to Torrance, and then from Torrance we came to Glendora, and we're like, where's Glendora? Definitely gonna get the fresh peach and the fresh strawberries, and then I'll see what else is on the menu.
Like, I would be really curious to try that strawberry donut, but also, like, I would beg for a fork. Why is everyone in that queue wearing white?
When's the first time you had one?
It's a bunch of candy strawberries with a donut as a napkin. That's how many strawberries in it.
22 years ago.
Yeah, that's an American helping if I haven't seen one. Damn.
If you eat it with a fork, you don't blend all the flavors. That's true. Never thought this is a true blend of all the flavor.
Yeah, if you, what you can do, right, is eat most of the strawberries first, and then you can have your blend of flavors without looking like Michael Myers.
We're very lucky because when I started this store, I told my wife we wouldn't be that big of a store because we're such a small community and all that. I would say 60 to 70% of our customers come from more than 7 miles away. And that's unusual.
Honestly, good on him for having his viral strawberries.
Soft, patted down and rolled an 1/8 inch thick.
Ooh,
Cut
what's
into
this?
perfect 2-inch squares that fly through the air into piping hot
Oh,
oil.
the
Fry
fuck?
until puffy and golden brown.
What the fuck is that?
Finish off with a sweet blanket of powdered sugar.
What is
It's
that?
the expert way that these pastries are cut and fried that makes Café du Monde's beignets a legend in New Orleans.
Beignets.
People compare beignets to donuts, funnel cake, and other sugar-topped fried pastries.
The fuck
But
is
those
that?
who've been to Café du Monde know them as a thing all their own.
It's our like decadence. It's who we are.
Yeah, that's not sugar anymore. That's
everything about it.
That's
You
a
come
snowy
here,
mountain.
it
Like, 10-year-old me would have frothed for that. 30-year-old me is like, oh,
Beignets
diabetes.
start out as a simple pastry dough at Café du Monde, where the bakers are meticulous in the way they mix each batch.
Okay.
I took it smooth.
Like donuts, but to the
10
left.
As for what's inside that mixture,
Alright, well, okay, it probably would taste really good with like banana
based on the
flavored.
ingredient list from Café du Monde's own beignet mix, the dough is made with wheat and barley flours, buttermilk, salt, and sugar. Once it's fully combined,
Okay.
only touch can tell whether it's ready.
Honestly, I would be curious to try one, not gonna lie, like I'll bag it, but I would actually want to try
I
one.
don't want it too hard. Yeah, I have to seal it. I make it too
It's like a definition, I'm like, oh, this is very weird. It's very strange. I'm not sure how I think about it. That's your third bayonet, you know? Oh, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I haven't decided. I think it's, you know, a little weird, a little strange. You've eaten 12. Yeah, I need a little more to be sure.
Still had the marks on my arm.
No, I wouldn't be able to eat 12, are you kidding? I'd probably eat like 2 or 3 and then be on the ground like wigging the fuck out.
You cook it at a high temperature.
You'll see credits
Welcome back. What snacky did you get?
I'm separating them so they won't stick together.
We're watching
so all come out done.
In
beignets.
5 minutes or less, the beignets are puffy and golden brown.
Beignets.
This point, wait for the
They're
waiters
like
to come in
French
and bag them
donut
up,
squares
Take them
now.
out to the window.
Ooh, prawn cocktail.
Shovels of
Okay, that
powdered
sounds
sugar
nice.
empty
Not
into
gonna
the
lie.
bags
Them's good
immediately after the beignets
snackies.
leave the fryer. That's
Yeah,
when
I
the
know,
sugar
right, Pixie?
easily
Like,
clings to
he's
the
asking for
surface,
oil
and when
burns
the
on the
pastries
arse
taste their
too,
best.
because he's like tossing them behind him.
You have to get them hot, like extremely hot.
Oh, what's
because it's
screeching in the
you see
background?
that? Right. It's so airy and light. I gotta take another bite.
Num num. Thank you for the hydrant.
It's so good.
Better than a donut.
Oh, it's like a trumpet
Way
or
better
something.
than a donut. It's just soft and chewy and excellent. And we always want
I would be
black
curious
so
to
that
try
we
it.
can
They
have powdered
do
sugar
look
all
good.
over us and everybody knows where we've been.
La beignet, manum num.
They like a lot.
Do they come back asking for more?
Yes, they do all the time. all the time.
God, that's a whole scoop
Café du Monde
in
has
every
been open in the French
bag.
Quarter for almost 160 years, all the while serving the same 2 items on the menu.
With some black coffee, it's just like the perfect combination.
Yeah, it's a perfect
Ew,
mixture
black
of
coffee.
tart and sweetness that it kind of just
That's
totally
disgusting.
combines with each other.
And for
Black
decades,
coffee?
food publications,
Ugh.
famous figures, and customers from all over the world have praised the
so
sweet
judgmental.
fried dough.
There are a few things that you think of New Orleans immediately: the river, the
I
cathedral,
respect
Pat O'Brien's Hurricane, maybe
the
a
fact
Café
you
du
have
Monde beignet.
different
This is
tastes,
what you
but-
come to New Orleans for.
I mean, granted, I don't really like coffee in general, so like, I'm not even the target audience.
Even if you don't like beignets, you kind of have to try it because it's just part of the New
Yeah, but then it's just an unpleasant experience all around. Then again, like, I'm a sweet tooth, so...
Harvesting acai is a dangerous job in Brazil.
Acai?
Workers climb thin palm trees.
That's
deep
pronounced
in the Amazon
acai?
rainforest.
Ela pode chegar lá em cima, no pegar do
That's
cacho,
pronounced
ela
acai?
quebrar, no meio que ela é frágil.
These berries have become one of the most popular
Huh.
so-called superfoods in the US, and they aren't cheap. One bowl can cost up to $15.
Yeah, in Australia, they tend to remove the
And while
squiggly bit and
berry
call it
has exploded in
acai.
popularity in recent decades,
That's what they call it here,
small
acai.
farms like this haven't really been able to cash in.
I have never heard a person pronounce it as acai in my life.
To this day, most acai in Brazil is harvested by families on small-scale farms.
But then again, it's probably just classic Australians
But big
pronouncing shit wrong.
plantations are on the rise, putting pressure on families like 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮 and a way of life that goes back generations.
Mas é uma dávida de Deus. Uma importância muito grande para nós, para nossa alimentação,
Yeah.
para
nossa sobrevivência.
So how did this Amazon
Yeah, 'cause it was a huge health thing, wasn't it?
And what is the true cost for the people who have been harvesting it for generations?
He looks so happy holding their acai berries.
Vem junto. Aqui tem cacho.
No, literally, I have never heard someone say acai in my life. I've heard a
We
lot
met
of people just call them
Lucas at the
acai
end of the
berries.
2021 harvest, but there were still some berries left on a few trees. His family's farm
I was
is
just like,
roughly
oh, yeah, it's
70
acai
miles
berries.
from Belém, the capital of the state of Pará, which grows more than 90% of the acai produced in Brazil. The only tool they use to climb is a single piece of rope called a piconha. They used to be made of leaves.
Well, say credit to them for climbing those
Essa
trees with
folha
just that.
aqui, a gente pegava, torcia ela, aí passava por aqui, fazia isso, para ver como o tempo vai mudando, né?
That's cool. It's interesting
Today,
to see how,
Lucas'
like,
son Luis Fernando will go up.
Se tiver só pane, se
innovative
tiver
these
maduro,
people
se
are.
tiver parou. Pode subir, vai com cuidado.
Yeah, told they were called acai, not acai,
The
yeah.
trunks are so thin
I think it's
that
because, like, in a
climbers have
lot
to
of,
be
like,
lightweight.
predominantly, like, very just English-speaking areas, they don't bother using special characters. And without the
At the top,
character,
they swing from the tree to reach multiple bunches.
it's basically acai, yeah. Oh! Don't die!
Going down can be dangerous too, especially while carrying a large knife and holding an armful of branches.
Jeez.
Dropping them could damage the fragile fruit.
Graças a Deus eu nunca caí dessa iseira. Quero que isso não aconteça comigo.
Eu já caí
I don't know,
3
man. You're
vezes
pretty young.
dessa iseira. Não me bati nenhuma vez, graças a Deus.
And the risks don't end at the climb.
Exclusivamente a gente anda nessas áreas. Tem muitos animais, né? Que nem cobra.
Hey, credit to them for doing the work they do, really. Health nuts all over the world love this shit.
Lucas and his family harvested 53 baskets like these in 2021, earning them an income of about $950.
Honestly, probably that, yeah.
That's as little as 20
Salmon.
cents per pound. Meanwhile, a pound of processed acai sorbet can sell for $7 or more.
I'm
in the
sorry,
US.
you're just a chair now, Pixie. I don't
Part
make
of
the rules.
issue
Your
is
cat
that
does.
Lucas has to sell his acai as soon as possible because the fruit goes bad fast. That leaves farmers who don't have processing machines with little leverage to negotiate.
Não tem empresa aqui na nossa comunidade. A gente vende para atravessador, para poder chegar na mão daquelas pessoas que vão beneficiar, que vão se dar bem.
Merchants bring the acai to Belém by boat. It's a race against the clock to sell the fruit before it spoils, so markets run overnight.
O açaí apanhado hoje, ele dura em máximo 48 horas. 72 é assim, extrapolando.
The price of the baskets varies every day, depending on the demand.
Hoje, em média, paneiro desse aqui está custando, hoje, 60.
Most of the acai produced in the state stays in Brazil, but exports have skyrocketed, growing about 14,000%
Like from
between
above, like
2011
from like
and
really
2020.
above, it looks like massive caviars. Yeah, Ghosty.
$15? Não sabia não.
Some acai gets transported to processing facilities like North Acai. Every day, 22 tons of fruit are turned into frozen pulp, acai that most people outside of Pará are familiar with.
O açaí é uma películazinha com caroço. Então 95% do açaí é caroço.
This is the stage where we see the biggest jump in price, about 177%.
Esse produto tem que estar congelado em
It
menos de
goes
24
from
horas.
berries
Aí a gente
to
vem pra cá,
expensive
aonde
smush.
aqui é o túnel de congelamento.
Probably USD, yeah.
A polpa fica congelada nesses monoblocos, aonde a gente depois leva para a câmara de estocagem e guarda ele para vender ele no mercado internacional e nacional.
Today, more than 70% of Brazil's acai exports end up in the States.
Nós estamos muito presentes, muito forte, tá? Na região da Flórida, região de Nova York, região de Nova Jersey, pela costa leste americana, de norte a sul, nós estamos bem presentes.
The global market for acai is expected to reach nearly $2.1 billion by the end of 2025.
O mercado como a China abrir as fronteiras para consumir esse produto, nós vamos aumentar.
Acai's popularity took off in other Brazilian states in the 1980s,
Very much.
when it became part of workout culture in Rio and Sao Paulo. The Bulls made regular appearances in this popular 90s soap opera that took place at a gym. Its high-calorie content made it a perfect pre- or post-exercise food, and its antioxidants made it easy to brand a superfood. That came with claims that it can solve all sorts of health issues, like
obesity, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, strokes, hypertension, high risk
It's
for
wizard food.
COVID-19, cognitive difficulties, sexual difficulties.
But nutritionists say this narrative has been blown out of proportion.
Wait a minute.
No boners, acai. No brains, acai.
Nonetheless, Americans were hooked and made all kinds of acai bowls, mixing in fruit, granola, honey, and more. But it's a far cry from the culture of the people who have eaten it for much longer.
It looks like pudding. It does, doesn't
Indigenous
it?
people living in the Amazon have harvested and consumed acai for centuries, maybe even millennia, and it's still a staple food in the daily diet of people in Pará who eat it fresh with savory meals. Lucas was 12 when he started climbing acai trees, and he still does, 36 years later.
Aí eu tirava para o meu consumo, para ajudar meus pais.
Family
Então eu
business.
acharia que ele não tinha condição de me bancar, né? E aí comecei a apanhar o açaí, né? Para me manter, para minha roupa, era sorteiro, meus calços, sapatos.
No, that's good of him.
In recent years, acai has also made headlines in American and Brazilian media for reports of children working in the industry. But farmers like Lucas say it's always been this way, and that it's normal for everyone in the family to help out and learn the trade.
É uma cultura porque vai passando de pai para filho, de avô para neto, né?
Nowadays, Lucas owns this land along with 55 other families. These kinds of settlements are called quilombos, or a quilombola community, and many go back centuries.
Ooh.
They were established by enslaved Africans and
Even the baby
Afro-descendants who
helps.
ran away into the jungle and started communities like this to
Yeah, they
survive.
start real young apparently.
Many learned from indigenous people how to harvest and process native foods, including acai.
Are you a fan of the
The
soya
Brazilian
bean?
government estimates there are nearly 6,000 quilombola communities in the country. And a 2013 study found roughly 75% still lived in extreme poverty.
Mas é uma comunidade rica, né? A gente se diz assim pobre, mas se torna rico, né? De espírito.
Lucas's acai trees grow alongside different native trees and plants. But larger monoculture plantations that produce more fruit are on the rise. The amount of land used for these plantations has more than tripled since 2006.
A gente trata como sistemas homogêneos muito frágeis, né? De pouca resiliência.
These plantations are often located far away from floodplains where acai trees naturally thrive. That means big producers have to irrigate their acai trees, while farmers like Lucas rely on natural seasonal flooding from the nearby river.
Isso sem falar no problema da biodiversidade por inteiro, né? Se você, enfim, transforma a Amazônia em plantios.
Some small producers have also been favoring acai trees over others, which could become an issue in the long run. And experts worry that as acai's popularity continues to grow, the cultural traditions of Pará and the Amazon could be lost.
Tendendo a transformar o açaí numa commodity. Isso é ruim. Aí tudo depende da escala, porque, né? Enfim, não interessa. A qualidade é pouco, mas tem qualidade. Não é isso que interessa.
Acai is something Lucas and many people here take pride in.
Esse aqui é o processo do nosso açaí para o nosso consumo local. Isso. Olha aí, a gente bota um pouquinho de farinha aqui dentro, né, do açaí. E aqui um pedacinho dele aqui, um pouco do feijão, um pouco do arroz. Aqui. Aí, um pouquinho do açaí. Então experimente como nós, para vocês sentirem o sabor do nosso açaí paraense, o açaí normal, puro. E vocês vão ver a delícia que é o nosso açaí. Obrigado.
He's very passionate about the acai.
This isn't just any old honey. It's Manuka honey.
Oh yeah.
And in its purest form,
oh hell yeah, it goes dude.
$99 per 100 grams.
Yeah.
That's more
I
than
know,
100
right?
times the
Honestly,
price of normal
it's one of
honey.
those things where it's like it's only useful
So why is it
specifically
so
to create that
expensive?
one thing. Apart from that, it's just detrimental in every way around.
Manuka honey is known for being earthier, richer, and more viscous than many other honeys. It comes from the nectar of the flower 𝐿επτοσpermum, also known as Manuka, which is only native to New Zealand. And Manuka, in fact, is a Maori word.
The fact that it comes from New Zealand, that gives it a premium just to start with. And because the bee travels up to about 6 kilometres to collect this honey. And so this honey is representative of the environment, and that environment is of New Zealand, Aotearoa. The plant itself and the honey is very, very rare. Out of all the honeys in the world, it probably represents 1% of all the world honeys.
Everybody wants this honey. It's like absolutely like people are like, oh goodness, Manuka
It's only a
honey.
2 to 6 week harvesting period. The flower is only open for 12
Hi,
days.
little doctor. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome.
So there's a lot
Honestly,
of luck
like,
involved in
I've
getting the
tried
bee
like
or a lot
really
of effort
cheap
from the beekeeper. For
Manuka
some
honey,
years, there
but I've
are
never
no-
tried like
there's no
proper
honey production for
pure
some
Manuka
beekeepers.
honey.
And
But
we
like
have
I
to
love
go to
honey,
big
so I know I'd like
extent
it.
also using helicopters
Hi,
to get
Data.
this
How are you? Welcome.
Although Manuka bushes can also be found in Australia, New Zealand accounts for almost all of the world's production.
Yeah, we've got some Manuka bushes.
$204 million and expected to quadruple to 800 million by 2028. New Zealand's honey is protected by a quality standard that safeguards Manuka's special properties.
This honey is an expensive honey, and anything that is expensive, people will try and copy. People will try and mimic, or people will try and cheat. So a lot of the cost here isn't actually in the protection of it, or the research, so we know it's unique, we know it's from New Zealand. We can identify it. We've put labs around the world to be able to do this identification. The New Zealand government has set up a standard to say what is Manuka honey.
So, how does the grading system work? And what exactly are you looking for in Manuka honey? We spoke to Dr. Adrian Charlton from Fairer Science, a lab in the north of England where Manuka honey is tested to identify its unique compound.
Have fun lurking, or more likely, have fun cleaning your room. May be very productive.
Dihydroxyacetone, which is known as DHA, methylglyoxal, known as MgO,
Num, num, num.
and hydroxymethylfurfural, HMF. These are the basic tests that we would undertake to make sure that Manuka honey contains the antimicrobial characteristics that the consumer would expect. We can detect them, but we can also measure the concentration of them, and that's done using UV light to detect at a particular wavelength the individual compounds. Each compound has slightly
Imagine getting like honey, you're a bit sus, and then you're like, I'll get my scientists to look at it.
Potential fraud. There's a suite of other tests, including
It's good that they're able to do the test.
leptosperin, which is a marker that's unique to the nectar of 𝐿eptospermum 𝐞𝐫. We can trace then the honey back to its botanical origin, the plant that it came from.
Hello, Esther.
When you pick up a jar of Manuka honey, the markers can be confusing. So how do you know that it's the real deal?
So in some cases they're labelling for the concentration of a compound, so MgO
Baby
300
crabs.
would indicate 300 milligrams of methylglyoxal in that particular pot of honey per kilogram. To NPA, which is not
Damn, that's actually pretty damn smart.
That's related to the methylglyoxal concentration.
It's like, yes, eat the pests, protect the
of
rice,
antimicrobial
because you go real well with it.
honey. Other marks such as UMF and quality
Rice and
mark,
crab
that
does
you can
actually
see
sound
a
pretty good, not gonna
particular
lie.
product that it's been tested and assured to a certain standard, so that's different to actually labelling it with the concentration of a particular compound.
Another factor that's driving
Our
up the price
grippers
is the
are
use of
always
Manuka honey in
cold.
health and beauty products.
And it's like 9 degrees at the
Antibacterial and
moment.
anti-inflammatory properties are said to soothe and nourish the skin. And it's
I know,
also said
right?
to help with blemishes and acne. But is that really the case?
I don't want it on my
There's been a
face, I
number
want
of
it in my
studies that
mouth.
have tried to determine the health benefits of Manuka honey, and there are some very positive results. And certainly in terms of antimicrobial activity, we can show that Manuka honey has antimicrobial activity in the laboratory. Those clinical trials over a long period of time have not been undertaken as of yet, but there are lots of reports that indicate that Manuka honey has benefits, but as yet unproven.
So the jury's still out on Manuka's
Big
medicinal
might have
properties,
benefits.
but that hasn't stopped its popularity, and Manuka honey is serious business.
Oh, okay,
The
not
prices
gonna
and
lie, that
demand for the
sounds
honey are
so
high
nice, Doctor.
that the New Zealand police have received
Oh,
hundreds of
honey and
reports of
tea is so
beehives or
good.
honey being stolen. And even
I mean, I
reports of
don't have
bees
tea
being
very
poisoned.
often, but when I do, honey and tea is so damn
So
good.
if you do manage to get your hands on a jar, does it actually taste different from normal honey?
It looks different.
Oh my god. That is delicious. The flavor's really strong.
It's very thick compared to normal honey.
It's got a kind of chestnutty flavour. It's not as sweet as usual honey. It's really smooth.
And the taste is pretty similar to what I'm used to. The texture is really interesting. It's very, very thick, almost like creamy.
Is Manuka honey really worth 100 times more than other honey? That's for you to judge.
I mean,
But
I'm
what's
willing
for
to try
certain is that
it.
No other honey in the world is so rare.
But like, I'll
and
admit,
unique
I'm
that it needs to
really
pass by a
fussy
lab
with
before
tea because
being
I'm a
sold.
sweet tooth.
Every
And
day,
I need
Monterey
very
makes tens of
strong
thousands
tea
of
flavors.
macarons in pastry labs just
Because
like this
pretty
one.
much like
The company sells its coveted
whether or not
cookies
I'll
across
enjoy a
30
tea
countries.
is quite
But
literally
it all started
determined
here in
with
Paris, with a macaron recipe
does
that
my
hasn't
brain
changed for
register
over
this as just
130
drinking
years.
hot water
Today,
with a
we dive
hint
into
of
how Monterey
something?
went from inventing
Or
the
does my
double-decker
brain
macaron
register it as a
to
flavor
becoming
with a
part
hint
an
of tea?
estimated billion-dollar cookie empire.
And basically like
Today, there are over
if it tastes
110
more
Monterey
like
locations
flavored
in
hot
more than
water,
50 cities
I'm going to
worldwide.
hate it.
The shops serve
But if it
croissants
tastes
and a
more like
myriad of
a
other
warm
French
flavored
pastries.
drink, then I'm going
But
to
pairing
like
the
it,
brand
basically.
with the macaron, rainbow in its shade and Parisian chic in its ethos.
Like, I'm a kind of person where like I need to put in like 2 extra strong English breakfasts and let them overcook a little bit before I can stand the tea.
Baking process.
Because before that point, it tastes way too watered down.
We make the shells, so the macaron shells, out of almonds, whole almonds.
Oh my
that we use,
gosh,
that we grind
macarons! I
ourselves,
love
with
macarons.
icing sugar, and then an Italian meringue, egg whites, and sugar syrup.
If you're getting a macaron from one of Lauderay's international locations, it was made in Switzerland. Lauderay says the macarons aren't frozen.
Not
Instead,
bad.
they're
Like, I'll
cooled
admit,
to
like,
what
one
Lauderay
thing,
calls a hibernation state
like,
before being
there's
shipped
one thing I
globally.
really like is,
But if you're in a shop in
it's
Paris or another French city,
specifically
those
to
macarons are
T2,
made
which
every
is,
day.
I don't know if they're an
Here at the
international shop, they're
Morangerie
definitely an
Lab
Australian shop.
outside of Paris.
And
And
they
this has
have
been
this,
baked
in
for
Easter
about 20 minutes.
specifically,
Apart
they
from that,
have
we
this
make
thing
the
called
filling,
Baxter's Buns.
which can be a jam,
And it's hot cross
chocolate
bun
ganache,
flavoured tea. And I will admit,
and then we
that
fill the
tea
macaron
fucking
with that filling.
slaps.
Then they
I
rest for
love
about 8
Baxter's
hours
Buns,
to
but I never
24
remember to
hours,
get it in
to
time
get that
because
nice
it's
soft
seasonal.
texture, and then we ship
It's like,
them to the stores.
no.
The perfect macaron has a crunchy outer layer, a soft inside, and just the right amount of filling. If it's not perfect, it's tossed.
Two essential
You can
steps
toss it
that we
into
have
my
here at
mouth.
Medway
I
is
don't
to
care
get
if the
right
macaron is
texture in the
fugly.
batter.
They
It's
all
not
end
too
up
runny, not
fugly
too
once
stiff, so the macaron gets
consumed.
that perfectly round shape, not too big, so then you can't put it in the boxes and all that. And then the second stage is
I fucking love macarons. I couldn't give a fuck if it's perfect. For me, the ugliest damn macaron on the planet. If it's crunchy and with a yummy jam in the middle, I'm gonna be a very happy chappy. Me likey macaron. I like the crunch and I like the jam. Like my old housemate, he used to make he'd make macarons a couple of times. And like, yeah, okay, they were ugly as all hell. They were not aesthetic macarons, but like,
they can taste
I will say they were really good. Like, they may have been ugly macarons, but they were goddamn delicious ugly macarons. Because he got the he didn't manage to get like the aesthetics right, he got the consistency right. So you still felt like you were eating like a crunchy macaron. And he put strawberry jam in the middle, and I love strawberry jam. Oh yeah, macarons are apparently a bitch to make.
Pierre de Fontaine, who created the version of the macaron we know today. When he
Never judge a macaron by its cover.
Ganache in the 1890s. Pierre's idea was a hit and was soon copied by pâtisseries across the city. But it would take 135 years from the original macaron company to branch out into another location on the Champs-Élysées.
Macaron into my mouth. Macaron, 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 macaron.
Repositioned Lauderay as a high-end cookie house, imitating luxury fashion houses.
Oh, it can be ugly as all hell, but if that consistency's right, I'm in heaven.
New macaron flavors, set to seasonal releases of fashion lines. Then the colorful cookies showed up beside haute couture in French Elle and Vogue, and the rebranding worked. Suddenly a symbol of luxury, Lauderay went from selling 3,000 macarons a day to 10,000 by 2002. Soon, food and travel bloggers began writing about the macaron, cementing Lauderay as a travel destination likened to the Eiffel Tower.
I am glad like macarons have gotten really popular now though, because you can get like 12 of them for $10 from the shore.
In 2005, Lauderay opened its first international location in London. Then, 3 years later, another in Japan. In the US, the macaron's appearance in the film Marie Antoinette and the TV show Gossip Girl popularized the cookie. And in 2011, Lauderay opened its first
I'd
US
love to try a Lauderay macaron. Probably like arse to
Today,
tits
Lauderay is the
expensive,
world's
but
foremost provider of the famous
tasty.
French macaron, helping its parent conglomerate reach $1 billion in revenue in 2018.
Hi Basina! Hi Raiders, welcome. How's your stream? I hope it was good. We're watching snack videos, and right now they're making macarons.
That's really touching.
Not a fan of macarons! Who are you? What are you? Alright, I'm not a big fan of them things.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, I don't like cannolis. Just something about like the bread thing on the outside, and it's just too creamy. I'm not a big fan of the cannolis.
Not as good. That's all I'm gonna say.
I had a mate who was
In a
really
previous video,
obsessed with
Bova's
cannolis.
was our
though.
pick for the best cannoli in Boston.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Santa. You don't like macarons. Welcome to because I had food from...
We got an
I
inside
know,
look
and the
at how
food
Bova's
videos look so
bakery
good,
puts the
don't
heart
they?
into its cannoli.
Literally been sitting here for hours just
unique
drooling.
We're not
Like,
on
nom,
Hanover
nom.
Street. We're on Salem Street, where
Thank you for
a
the
lot
follow,
of
boss, and I
people that have been in the
appreciate it.
area
Thank
for a while
you.
Still come back to. It's not the exact tourist location.
You know what? I'm a
Bova's
sweet tooth.
Bakery was
Cannolis may
founded
not be
in
my favorite thing in the
1926 by
world,
Italian
but I'm
immigrant
not
Antonio
fussy
Bova.
when it's
The shop
chalky.
is covered
Put it
wall
in
to
my
wall with
mouth.
Italian food and sweets, but the cannoli is by
Hum,
far
num,
the top
num,
seller.
num.
My name's Dominic. I'm a great-grandson of Antonio Bova.
I'm John Cluse, great-grandson of Antonio Bova as well. You know, Dominic and I, being fourth generation,
I will
we
admit,
know
I
how
would have
important
laughed
family
my
business
arse
is.
off. He was like, and
Still
I'm John
having
Cluse.
Our hands in the business. A lot
Friend
of
of great-grandson.
may have name recognition and may sell out, and very few people have actual family members here on a daily basis.
The bakery offers 8 cannoli flavors ranging from traditional to new age.
So what makes our cannolis the best is...
And what
it
makes a
comes from
new
the
age
heart. We
cannoli?
put passion
Now it
into
comes
our
from the
cannolis.
heart. Yeah.
We're constantly
Just
filling
like
our
my
cannolis.
biggest,
So
my
no
biggest
matter when
fault
you
in a
come,
job
our
interview
cannolis are
comes
always
from
fresh.
This is
I work
key
too
because
hard.
Bova's Bakery is open 24 hours. At
Oh,
night,
you down for a
lines go out the
tiramisu
door.
cannoli? Uh-huh.
Oh, cannolis. Oh, manon. Mwah. Wow. This is so good.
The traditional filling starts with a base made with whole milk ricotta.
It's made of
To
ricotta.
ensure a
Alright.
smooth consistency, Dominic makes sure the
Makes
sugar
sense.
is mixed thoroughly before he adds the whole milk.
Jesus, a lot of sugar. Jesus, a lot of milk. It's so fluffy.
I've just had the filling.
What's in my teacup?
The ricotta filling is separated
liquid.
to make different cannoli fillings,
See?
like
Wait.
Nutella and pistachio.
It tips a little bit. There you go. Yeah, it's a brown liquid. Yeah, it's tea. Yeah.
That flavor is so nice. I'm in trouble. I don't think I'll be able to pick a favorite when I try these 3 later on. The fillings are all so good.
Other new cannoli flavors include creme brulee. Cream
Cre-
caramel mixes with the ricotta
Creme
filling,
brulee, huh?
topped with Heath bars.
So I think we get a lot of our cannoli flavor ideas. I think a lot of it comes from our help, right? If they go to the store, they're picking out flavors that they like. So a lot of our help will make recommendations, and customers will make recommendations on flavors that they like.
Well, a definite unique cannoli would be the Florentine. We make our Florentines with almonds, butter, sugar, and honey. Other places will just use a mix before they make their Florentine shells. Ours is 100% from scratch and hand rolled. You're not going to find that
hand
anywhere
rolled.
else other than
That
Bova's
means it's
Bakery.
quality.
Now you're gonna fall in love. I know that for sure.
Our 3 most popular cannolis are
Yeah,
the
drink it straight from the can.
chocolate chip, and creme brulee.
Now it was our turn to try all 3.
This is a working
Poor lass is struggling.
Oh my god. It was good, right? Oh, it's so good. Everything that I said that I wanted to look for in the perfect cannoli, like everything is checked.
I love how like this
super
one in
crunchy,
particular is
ricotta
like
filling is like
the
super
team
smooth
behind
and light
it
and fluffy,
have liked
not
it
too
enough
sweet,
that they've
not
all
too
like,
grainy.
all right, we've got to have a segment so we can you know count it as work where we're all eating the cannolis.
They know what they're doing here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is it. This tastes like a legendary dessert. She does not mess
Welcome
around.
back.
This thing has
It's
some weight to
cannoli
it.
time.
I don't know what
That's
a
a
Florentine
brick.
shell is. I assume that it's from Florence. Maybe. It's French. It's from France. I'm gonna do it.
Oh god.
I can't do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
He's trying.
This whole time, I've been taken on a journey
oily.
because I've been eating filling for the past few hours. I thought every time I ate a different flavor, I'd be like, oh, this is great. And then I'll have the next one, and I'll be like, oh, this is my favorite. And now I had the third one, and I'm gonna definitively tell you that this is my favorite. The reason being, the shells on the cannoli, the regular cannoli shells, they're more of like a vessel to hold the filling, and like don't really give any additional flavor profile other than the crunchy factor texturally. This crust, it's sweet, it's nutty. Boston really knows how to make their cannolis. I can tell you that much.
Hey, they're happy. That's what matters.
This is
Mochi!
Rainbow Dango, bite-sized orbs of colorful, tender mochi.
Nom nom.
In a process similar to taffy, it's made every day by hand, along with a selection of other wagashi, or Japanese treats.
Yeah, I will admit, I'm not a big fan of cannolis, but I think they're alright. I had a friend who would kill for them, though.
It's been here forever, right? And it's the best.
LA's Little Tokyo is the heart of the largest Japanese-American population in North America. One gift that Japanese immigrants brought over with them is this cute little snack, mochi. Now we're visiting the oldest Japanese business in the country from the owner, who actually still makes mochi the way Grandpa did it.
Mochi.
After all these years, Fugetsudo has earned many fans who adore their mochi's texture and taste.
Oh.
Hi!
Hi, Crystal.
Tell me a little bit about Fugetsudo and how long you've been around.
Well, Fugetsudo is the oldest store here in Little Tokyo. We started in 1903. I am the third generation. Today we're making Sakura Mochi. It's our season. February and March we make Sakura Mochi for Girls' Day.
What do you use to make it?
Well,
what
we use
ingredients?
sweet rice and red bean, azuki beans, and we also are making a number of other items, some more decorative traditional mochi. Each one has
May
a
I have
certain
some
taste
azuki
or a certain
beans?
texture. So if you'd like to see,
Azuki
we're
beans,
busy
so
working
good.
right now, so come on back.
In the Fugetsudo kitchen, Brian Kito is more than a baker. He is a shokunin, or master craftsman, a title earned after at least 10 years of training.
Damn.
He's known for his traditional Japanese desserts, including yokan, a sweet bean jelly served over white bean-filled mochi, decorated and covered with gelatin. There's also ogura, an inverted mochi, with the beans on the outside, topped off with a flour, also sealed with gelatin to keep it soft and shiny.
Huh,
First
alright.
of all, I am just impressed by how
I didn't know that it was
manual
reverse
work
mochi.
there is. Every single stage, there is someone pouring, cutting, manipulating, mixing, stirring, moving something from one table to another. I mean, it's all done by human hands and human labor. Fugetsudo is known for their rainbow dango. It starts with a
Dango!
base dough,
Nom 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 nom.
and steamed and mixed with sugar. The mochi is edible at this stage, but it's not rainbow dango yet. Food coloring is folded in by hand and shaped into long pieces that wrap the white mochi.
I want fruity dango. I want rainbow dango.
Now
That
it's
sounds
ready
so
to
good.
be rolled out, section by section. Each tube is finally laid in a wooden mold. But before that, getting them to be just right takes some effort. It's a workout. Okay, my arm is tired. My shoulder's tired. I have truly never eaten mochi until today. Like real mochi.
Oh.
Yeah. So good. This is just, it's a joy to eat because the texture is just something that you don't find in nature. You gotta make it.
I've been in the business for 44 years,
Atsuki.
full-time.
Now, given that you've
Nom
been
nom
doing this
nom
for a
nom
long
nom
time and
nom
it's a
nom nom.
family business, have you had any tools or special equipment that's been passed down?
Yeah, we do. We have some molds that have been passed down even from my grandfather's days.
Nah,
But,
sweet mochi's the
because
best.
the internment during World War II, a lot of the stuff from my grandfather doesn't exist anymore that they've lost.
After internment, Brian's mom and dad struggled to rebuild from nothing. But they soon got back to producing their legendary mochi with a little bit of help.
Corey, my son, he's shown interest in taking it over, and so we're preparing for him to be the fourth generation. He's been here for now a year and a half apprenticing while he's in college.
You have 5. Yeah, 3 more. 3 more.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Is he the young man that looks like you walking around?
He's the one that almost looks as good looking as Dad. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's so fragrant. Oh, it smells so good. Even not to eat it is a treat.
Well, don't just whiff
You just
it.
can't
That's
find
weird.
this anywhere else. And it's fresh. It's not like dry. The mochi itself has a taste, which complements whatever's inside of it.
I'm in my third bite. This texture is unbeatable. Mmm. It is the mochi place, and it's really good. Yay!
You just see those people in the background are like, there's a camera, what the fuck?
No dessert is more classic than a deliciously gooey chocolate chip cookie.
Cookies!
And that's why people love Bang cookies in New Jersey.
The best way to describe it is like those cookies that you used to have in the cafeteria.
I'm sorry, did that sign just say I just got banged in the city?
3 years ago, Bang Cookies was selling a few hundred cookies a day
Only
at
in
farmers
America.
markets.
We sold out the first hour, and we didn't expect that. Ever since then,
Yes,
we
it
sold out the
does.
first day, and then we kept on selling out every single day at the farmer's market.
It literally says I got banged in Jersey City. That is the sign on their
The
fucking
recipe he
window.
spent 15 years
Oh my
fine-tuning.
god.
George and his team source ingredients from all over the world. Whether it's grass-fed butter from New Zealand, chocolate chunks from Europe, or macadamia
Okay,
nuts
when
from
it's
Hawaii.
not their food, that
Each
is
one
hella
affects the way
nasty.
these cookies bake and taste.
When it's their food, I
The shop's
suppose
best
pop
seller
off.
is its most classic rendition, the sea salt chocolate chunk cookie.
It's weird
This
over
recipe
here.
uses a mix of white and brown sugar, locally milled organic flour, grass-fed
Okay, not
butter,
gonna lie, that
and
does
both
sound
milk
nice. I'd
and
like die
semi-sweet
right
dark
after,
chocolate.
but I'd die
Different
happy.
chocolates gives it different nuance of flavors.
So you can see it,
So
you
it
can
gives
see
it more
it.
complexity. So it kind of counterbalances the difference between the sweetness of the actual milk chocolate versus the semi-bitterness of semi-sweet chocolate chunk.
Each cookie is topped with a sprinkle of sea salt because
When it hits your mouth, it
heap
hits it
of dough.
in a way that you're biting into the cookie, and then you're tasting the sweetness and the saltiness in combination.
another popular pick off the menu.
organically. Good
God.
God.
S'mores, I really love that one.
Just read his shirt.
really well. It's like nice and gooey, but with the crunchy outside.
Macadamia
This
white
one's
chocolate is a
notably
good
more
combination.
time-consuming
I'll
to
be
make
honest,
than
I
the rest.
cannot stand
Every
white
single
chocolate.
s'mores cookie that we do
Oh.
has to be pieced
Like
together.
milk
with
chocolate,
broken
love
graham
it to
crackers
bits.
that we
Dark
break by
chocolate,
hand and then manually
kind
put
of
it
like
in.
sometimes
Finally,
yay,
each cookie is
sometimes nay,
individually
depends on. But I
packaged in plastic,
can't
so
stand
customers
white
can see
chocolate.
exactly what's put on the
Ugh.
inside. It also keeps them fresh and soft.
I feel like it's gooey.
But I fully believe they go well with macadamia nuts.
I can taste that it's organic. It's like good ingredients.
Bang Cookies didn't initially attract customers
Ew.
for cookies, but rather the name of the shop itself.
We
Right.
wanted a name that
That's
would
a
be able
him
to draw
problem.
attention because we didn't have
He,
like the
he,
marketing
he just
funds at
needs
all.
to stop
We wanted something
sticking his
that's
shit in your food.
because we're the new players in the
Oh,
farmers
that's
market.
yeah, no,
So
that's a
we
him
call ourselves
issue
Bang
specifically.
Me, Bakery in the very beginning. A lot of customers would look over like, is that a real name? Like, yeah, it is. Let's try the cookies now.
Your
And they did.
bakery
The
was
name
called
changed to be a bit
Bang
more
Me
kid-friendly,
Baker.
but
Oh
the customers
Jesus!
kept coming.
So you're saying that they got better, not worse?
Jeff
Christ!
at the pizza shop said we have to try them, that they are so awesome, and for us to please get her a t-shirt.
And with so much demand, Bang Cookies has already opened 2 locations in Jersey City, and they've got plans for more to come. That means more cookies for customers across the country, who've already had them shipped to states like California, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Welcome. We're watching sweet video num 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 nums.
We're
How
here
are
in
you? How was
Milwaukee,
your
Wisconsin,
stream?
home
Welcome
to the world's
Raiders. I
largest
hope it was
concentration
wonderful.
of frozen custard shops.
Hope you're not
Now,
hungry
frozen
because you're gonna be
custard
hungry.
is not the same thing as ice cream, and by law, it has
Winnie the
to have
Pooh's
at
just
least
for the
10%
puns.
butterfat.
I mean,
and a
honestly, I'd
lot
probably
more
go
egg
just for the
yolk.
puns.
And because Wisconsin is home to dairy, lots of dairy, it is the perfect fit for frozen custard shops. Now, what are you
Frozen
waiting for? Let's go
custard?
see how frozen custard is made.
What a frozen yogurt. But
Custard's
frozen
more
custard?
dense. Ice cream
Alright.
is a lot of
You know
air
what?
in it. This has less amount
Alright.
of air. So when
Probably
you're
wouldn't be too
eating
bad,
it,
actually.
Custard goes on your palate. And it's gonna
Thank you
stay
for the
there
follow,
longer.
Rhythm Jack. I appreciate it. Thank you, and welcome, welcome.
But before you even taste that rich frozen custard,
Two
it
LGT.
starts as this
Enough
liquid
to
dairy
say
mix.
fuck you.
Pops' mix is top secret, but we do know that it is at least 10% butterfat and more than 1.4% egg yolk. And these aren't just
I'm doing
arbitrary
well.
measures.
Thank you for asking. I
To
appreciate it.
officially
How are
be
you?
considered frozen custard, the US
Hi,
Food and Drug
Zitty.
Administration
How are you? Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Welcome in.
While your premium
We're
ice
watching.
creams may have that
We're up to
same
frozen
amount of butterfat,
custard.
Your average ice cream probably isn't going
Yeah,
to.
we're just
And it's
watching like
even
how
more
to make
likely for
delicious
ice cream to
snackies,
have that much
basically.
egg yolk, instead consisting more air, like Scott said.
I'm living vicariously through the screen. Nom, 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 nom,
A
nom,
dairy
nom, nom,
processor
nom,
that
nom.
actually introduced frozen custard to the Midwest during the 1933
Don't worry,
Chicago
Zuri.
World's Fair. The dessert found only in Wisconsin.
welcome.
It's more than 100,000
Oh, were you playing some
dairy
Toho
farms
Lunar
with
Nights?
easy access to
Ooh,
fresh
that
cream
sounds
and
fun.
butterfat milk.
And how was your stream, Zuri? I hope it went really well as well.
And then they'll start the machine up. These machines
Yeah, it's like
are running
frozen
at about
custard. And
16
honestly,
degrees.
I've never had it, but I feel like I'd probably really like it because custard's pretty good.
But not much under 32.
Oh hell
So custard
yeah!
is running at a colder temperature.
This machine is what really does the work of
Oh,
turning the
congrats
mix
on
into
beating the
custard.
final
As
boss.
the
That's
machine
brilliant.
freezes
That
the
is.
custard, it adds in as little air as possible. While
No.
regular soft serve ice cream might be about 40% air, frozen custard can range anywhere from 15 to 30% air, giving it a
Okay.
thicker texture than ice cream. As it thickens, the machine slowly
You can put
pushes
that
the custard
air into my mouth.
Once the
Num
custard gets to the
num
right
num num num.
consistency, it pushes its way through the front of the machine.
How old are they? These two machines were made
Oh, Cold Stone Ice Cream.
Cost
Ah,
has a
hell
pretty
yeah.
unique way of keeping such old machines running. If something goes wrong, they actually call up Leon's, a competing frozen custard stand that also works on maintaining old custard machines.
He also has a business, a machine shop. He builds all the parts for us, for all the custard stands. So if we need something, we call them, and they make parts that we need for our machines to keep them going.
138.
Man, that other company really did the smart route.
Plain?
They were like, not only are we going to be in the business, we're going to be in the business of letting them be in the business. Stonks.
Until we add the vanilla extract, to us it's not a vanilla custard. That vanilla extract is what makes it the vanilla custard. Right
Oh, yeah,
now,
of
we're
course.
probably spending close to $500 a gallon.
Oh, wow.
It's the premier vanilla extract. It's like comparing it to a Volkswagen to a Mercedes.
That's the
We're using a
good shit. Can I have some of the good shit? Please?
You can taste that expensive vanilla in this custard.
Ah.
This vanilla tastes so good.
Can
Has
I
a
have
very
some?
creamy consistency. There's so much more of the treat in one bite.
Stop shilling it. You're in America.
This is definitely better than ice cream.
Of course, rest well. I hope you have a wonderful rest, and thank you again for the raid. I appreciate it. To the both of you. Go eat food, chill, sleep, whatever you need to do. I promise to make your community hungry. Night night.
Lemon Ice King. It has
Me want eat. Me want tasty icy treat.
It's Corona.
Creaming.
Me want mouthful.
Flavor. It is delicious.
It is so good. You have to come to Corona and get some.
The Lemon Ice King of Corona began in 1944 when Nicola Benfaremo began churning and selling ice out of his garage in a largely Italian neighborhood.
Huh.
Nicola's son Peter partnered up with his father to open up a storefront in 1964, just in time for the New York World's Fair in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, which attracted more than 51 million people around the globe.
Everyone is coming to the New York World's Fair.
The real Lemon Ice King started here through Peter Benfaremo.
Oh, so it's like shaved ice or
We
something.
gotta acknowledge his father, obviously.
Yeah, he took it to the next level.
That's Mike Zampino and Vinny Barbaccia, the current owners of the Queens Institution.
Pete to me was like my second father. Probably one of my best friends as well.
An immigrant from Italy, Nicola made his ice the traditional way, using natural ingredients and actual pieces of fruit.
I don't think I've ever had Turkish ice cream specifically.
Semi-frozen dessert with a sugar and water base. But what made the Benfaremo ice stand out was its creamy texture, which was unlike the coarse and crystalline versions of early Italian ice, and which they achieved without using any dairy.
No dairy at all in any of the flavors. You assume like, yeah, it's a cream ice, you know, it's got milk in it, it's got dairy in it. No dairy in it. It's just our recipes that make the product turn out the way it does.
Can't say.
That sounds pretty good.
Always been eating it, and as you can see, still eating it.
Saying we get a lot of.
I love how they
from,
shaped it like a rose. That's kind of
where it
cute.
used to be more like pistachio, lemon, orange.
Hi, Madeline.
with
How
more
are you? Welcome,
traditional Italian
welcome.
flavor. And that was what the neighborhood
Uh-huh.
was. Now, as the neighborhood changes, we see we're selling more mango, pina colada, more of the tropical fruits.
I'm here all the way from Ohio to taste this. This is great.
Overwhelmed by the praise, I couldn't wait to get my share of the iconic 𝐵enfaremo Italian ice. Out of their 36 flavors, I decided to try their cult classic, peanut butter, which contains
Ew.
chunks of peanuts throughout. But first, their most popular flavor, the namesake, lemon ice.
I would try that one. That one does sound
Lemon
nice.
ice cream. Lemon. Lemon is lemon.
It comes in the form of a rose. All right, so here we go. This is truly amazing. On a humid day like this in New York City, this is exactly what I wanted to taste right now. This tastes like fresh lemons.
Okay,
but
that on a
also
human day
it's
would be
sweet
good
too,
too.
So if you're a sweet tooth like me,
Not even
you would love
remotely
this.
interested in the
But if
peanut
you're
butter
having
one,
Italian
but
ice for the
strawberry?
first
Hell
time,
yeah.
you are
Lemon
gonna
ice?
feel like
Yeah.
kind of like prickles on your tongue, but they're refreshing prickles because it's just like the coldness of the ice.
Oh,
It's
something like that.
really so refreshing. Do you guys want to try some? You're gonna have to come to Lemon Ice King. This is Lemon Ice King Corona's newer flavor. It is the peanut butter ice.
Yeah.
It's become a hit amongst the community
Yeah.
and a lot of people around New York. So I'm really excited to try
Oh,
this out.
ew,
This is the one
coffee
that I saw
flavor.
on
Gross.
social media that
The
people
only
were
place
raving
that should
about.
have coffee flavors, tiramisu and coffees. Coffee flavored ice? Ew, just get a coffee.
I really cannot believe that dairy is
I
not
hope
in
you're
this
able to
because
rest
this
a little bit
tastes so
soon.
smooth.
Mhm.
And just like any peanut butter ice cream that I've had in the past.
Again, whatever flavor you're aiming at, you're gonna find that it's the best you've had.
The 75-year-old recipe and larger window operation remain loyal to its owner and neighborhood as Vinny and Mike continue to hire local kids to scoop out Italian ice.
The queen of afternoon tea served with scones and strawberry jam, clotted cream is sometimes confused with butter for its thick, rich texture. While it contains some butterfat, a lot of it actually, clotted cream isn't churned as butter would be. Instead, its butterfat is separated slowly, following a precise, lengthy process that here in Cornwall has been passed down over generations.
There are so many things you can do with milk. I have no idea what all of them
We're going
are.
to find out how clotted cream is made. I can't wait to taste it. Let's go see how it's made. Just by looking at it, it has the consistency
Yes,
of
of
ice
course,
cream.
but I
It
still hope
looks
you
a
get
bit
to
like
rest when
ice
you
cream.
can.
It does. The texture of butter.
As in, like,
and
you
the
know, after
taste
work and stuff like that.
of cream, of like milk cream.
Yes.
So it's really
And I hope
like
when you
these
do
three
get to
things
rest, it's nice and
together.
long
And all
and
come from milk.
really
Very
comfy.
clever product, milk.
Yeah, apparently it's
Yeah.
like
It is.
butter, but to the
How
left.
did that clever milk turn into such a product? Well, clotted cream starts with fresh milk that is pasteurized at 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. This temperature is ideal to preserve its creamy flavor without burning it. It is then cooled down to no more than 36 degrees to force the milk to separate into fat and liquid. The next step is to pour it into the separator, which skims the cream from the milk.
So how much milk are you putting here in the separator?
That'll be 35 litres of whole milk gone in. It's usually 1 litre of cream to 12 litres of milk.
Oh, all right.
Damn.
That's really small.
Yeah.
But you still want to make something out of it.
Yeah, it is the cream of the crop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
literally. The best part of it. It's not easy to get it right.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, I think it's the temperature, you know, of the when
No,
you
yeah, it would
process
be
the
easy to
milk as
stuff it
well,
up, wouldn't it?
to make sure you actually start separating it at the right temperature,
Uh-huh.
the right consistency of cream. My uncle
Maybe goes, I don't know.
used to sell his own cream, and he taught me.
Yeah, it's
that
amazing
if
how
the cream will
versatile
stick to
milk
your
is, you know
thumb,
what I mean?
That's the right consistency. If it falls off, it's not going to be any good.
It's not good because
Yeah.
it means there's still a little bit of
There's
milk
still,
in
that's
there.
right. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So you don't want any
You'll
of
be
that.
you'll be here working with me in a minute.
Oh, this is your test. Oh, it looks like nail polish.
That's good.
Don't stick your fucking
Separation
thumb
is
in
done
it.
twice to get the richest cream possible. Once
Ugh.
the separator is off, Claire takes it apart
love
to
you
explain
cows,
to me
thank
how
you
it
for your
works.
milk.
Here you can see a series of discs. When the machine is on, they spin and push the skim milk through these holes, while the cream, which is heavier, flows to the bottom.
As each particle of milk goes through, these spin at such a rate. Each one of them. All the cream. Yeah, there's loads. They all are separated, coming off like that. We obviously take them off every time we use them. But there's a lot of fat as well that's kept in here.
Oh,
it's probably really good for your skin. It's like a moisturizer.
The fresh cream is
Ew.
then poured into little pots. By skimming the milk twice, what we've got is double cream.
Goes out here
To become
worshipping
clotted
cows.
cream, it will
You
need to
brought
be
us
at least 10 to 12
everything.
hours in the fridge.
I mean, okay,
During
to
this
be fair,
time,
like,
the thickest part of the cream
the
rises
amount
to
of shit that,
surface,
like,
cream
milk
in
is the
clumps.
reason it's good, man.
Which will make it
Cows
clotted
can
cream.
contribute a lot, including really dangerous levels of methane.
And the cream underneath should be runny compared to the top, so you have that lovely crust.
Oh, I see.
They're a
So
cool
this
animal.
is the way to go, and it is a very lengthy process.
It is, yes, definitely. It's well worth waiting for.
They look nice and bubbly.
They do, yeah.
Boobles.
After spending the night in the fridge, the pots are ready to be cooked. Claire tells me she's found the perfect temperature and baking time to be 85 degrees Celsius for 1 hour and 30 minutes. This allows her to give the cream a nice crust without overcooking it.
Oh.
And what you want is that lovely crust.
Oh, that's
You
crunchy.
see it cracking there? And then
it's runny.
It's just about right to put on that lovely scone.
Oh.
Make sure you have the crust on top. This is a good consistency because you've got the underneath isn't too runny. It won't run off your scone.
Yeah.
Your teeth will sink right into it.
Okay, it's my turn now. I'm not gonna get a spoon as big as yours.
Keep the crust. Make sure. There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I feel like a bite full of that would be
That
an
was-
instant death.
Felt it.
Yeah, you do feel it.
Yeah.
You definitely need a spoon
You-
with
you're
it.
not-
you need
yeah,
to
you're
take.
not supposed to eat
you're
it
not
like
really
that.
meant to eat it on its own.
Unfortunately, Claire had to run to bottle the rest of the fresh milk of the day. So I sat down with Margaret, the owner of the farm, to enjoy clotted cream the most traditional way possible, in an afternoon tea.
Put it
or
on a
cream tea,
scone.
as it's called here in Cornwall.
You
The
just
clotted
eat it
cream
like
is
that, I
served
know,
with
right?
Strawberry jam and scones
It gives
that
like the
Margaret
same energy as the
herself
folks
made
who
with
eat
some
butter,
leftover
like
buttermilk.
straight from
While
the
spreading
block
cream and
slash
jam on your
container.
scone may look like the most natural thing, the order in which you do it has long been the subject of one of the biggest culinary debates in the UK.
Which way should I start? Because I know here there are a lot of rules on how to approach this. And I could be persecuted if I put one thing before the other.
Have your scone, and then in Cornwall, you always put some jam on it first.
Okay, so first the jam. All right.
Yes.
Why would you put the jam first and the cream last?
Well, it's what we've always done it here. But I think if you put the jam in and you put as much cream on as you like, can't you? It is nice. Have a nice big one.
That's enough, huh? The whole thing?
Jeez,
Yes,
would you
it
like
is
some
that one.
scone with your cream?
Yeah.
Quite a lot, huh?
Ah. Willkommen back.
Nice.
All right, I can see
Imagine
why you
eating
put this
butter, yeah.
for last. Because it's really
Yes, a
worth
lot of
staying
cream in
there
it.
a while. You know,
That's
when you
mostly
have it,
cream.
you
That
have
looks
it
like
on
those
the
strawberry
lips.
donuts from earlier, which were donuts
I
only
like
with
the scones as
quotations
well,
around them.
Homemade by you, yeah, I really like them. Nice and soft and crumbly in the core.
Good. Everything together is so nice.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, like, scones with jam
We're
is
in Ruvo di
delicious.
Puglia, Italy, and today I'm going to meet with Vincenzo and Giuliana,
Gelato!
who make some of the most exquisite gelato in the country. Their story is as rich as the one of their hometown, Ruvo. That is
Gelato is
known
nice.
for its architecture and rich craftsmanship. For the
Not
two
enough
siblings,
cream
it's all
adds
about
more
keeping the
cream.
craft of
For
gelato
real.
making alive. And the best way to do that is to take your family recipe from 1840 and never changing it. Let's go find out more.
I'll do it.
This is a story of how one family took gelato to a small southern Italian town 180 years ago and gave it a home. The family recipe calls for only 3 ingredients.
Latte, zucchero e uova, anche se poi ogni gusto ha una componente di ingredienti diversi.
Good old
dove
keep it
ci
simple,
vanno
stupid
più
method.
uovo, meno uova, più zucchero, meno zucchero, in base sempre allo stesso quantitativo di latte.
Gelato al Mocambo has been made this way since Well, since 1840. It's all thanks to Uncle Luigi, who brought the art of gelato making from the royal courts of Naples to his hometown, Ruvo, which has been synonymous with gelato ever since.
E oggi ti farò in realtà anche un po' lavorare.
Va bene, dai, mi devo rimboccare le mani. Ok, ma cosa devo fare? Devo girare?
Devi mescolare perfettamente insieme lo zucchero. Adesso è facile, te lo dico.
Ok, aggiungiamo altro zucchero.
More sugar, more.
Troppo a Claudia, ti stacca il braccio, cioè te lo dico.
Non ero preparata.
Oh, damn.
The original 1840 recipe, which is called the 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫, has been joined by 7 other flavors: pistachio, almond, chocolate, 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫, gianduja, and hazelnut. All ingredients are seasonal,
Chocolate.
and that is why your go-to winter flavor here will never be, say, strawberry, but almond. This flavor in particular is made with a homemade almond butter, which is actually grinding before our eyes as we speak.
Questa è una mandorla locale, quindi siamo a Ruvo, siamo in Puglia, terra di olio, di vino e soprattutto di mandorle. Questa in realtà è una delle migliori varietà, una 𝐄𝐍𝐸𝐵, abbastanza molto profumata.
Si sente?
Quello in particolare è una lavorazione che ne abbiamo cominciato ieri mattina, quindi sono passate all'incirca 24 ore e per essere al punto ottimale ne dovrebbero passare all'incirca 45 di lavorazione. Noi adesso diciamo lo faremo con una pasta un po' più ruvida, infatti dopo il gelato che andremo a degustare avrà una caratteristica un po' più, come dire, tradizionale, con questa ruvidità marcata, però è anche il bello diciamo di vedere le varie granulometrie della lavorazione. Poi,
si vedono un po' i granuli delle mandorle.
I mean, that's pretty good almond butter right there.
Dimmi tu. Vai. Adoro. Buonissimo.
È un prodotto 100% naturale, proprio stai mangiando una premuta di mandorle.
Sì, si sentono i granuli, ma
Imagine having like their almond gelato with like
Riprendi il lavoro.
an almond like hot chocolate and macaroons, then you're just having a plate full of almonds with extra steps.
Quindi per ogni gusto devi
Ogni gusto, il
lavorarlo.
suo pentolone. La ricetta della crema d'areppo in particolare ha un bouquet di aromi e spezie segreto, ce lo passiamo in famiglia da 120 anni.
Honestly, it
Quindi,
kind of does
insomma,
actually.
questo è anche uno dei motivi per cui non ho
Oggi
potuto...
non stiamo facendo quel gusto.
Non stiamo facendo quel gusto, però stiamo facendo qualcosa di tipicamente locale, quindi appunto utilizzando una mandorla nostrana.
But we are not finished yet. First, we need to cook it. And if you think that you could just skip this step, please keep watching. Giuliana feels pretty strongly about it. Perché è importante la cottura?
So you gotta cook it, all right?
Italiana. È come dire, apri la bottiglia di passata di pomodoro e mettila direttamente, condisci la pasta. Diciamo che la perdita dell'acqua favorisce una maggiore amalgama di sapori. Non puoi fare ricette dove prendi, mescoli tutto e metti nel congelatore. Non ha senso.
E quanto tempo rimarrà qui in cottura?
Vabbè, il tempo necessario all'incirca andranno via quei 10 minuti.
You still want one of those meals for fun. Just like one day you're just going to be kitted out with all of these DIY gears.
Ma io ho sempre visto queste macchine per fare il gelato.
You climb your way up the corporate ladder, get a big house so you can get an almond mill specifically.
Allora, in realtà lei ha tutto
It's like, this is my almond
il
room.
cestello di raffreddamento è posto in maniera verticale. Questa in realtà è una macchina con un sistema antico. Questa in particolare ha circa quasi 50 anni e ce la teniamo abbastanza
looks 50 years old, yeah.
È un brevetto del 29. In realtà è rimasta solamente un'azienda a farle così al mondo, cioè al mondo, in Italia soprattutto, che è la principale. Questa azienda qui invece non le produce più. Comunque tieni conto che questo tipo di miscela funziona solamente in questa tipologia di macchina. Se vado a metterla in un mantecatore orizzontale ha un effetto differente, non monta come dovrebbe. Quindi sostanzialmente questo è il miglior sistema, che poi va a simulare quello che prima questo lavoro veniva fatto a mano, quindi macchina antica per un gelato antico.
You may have been watching this for only
An
a few
ancient
minutes,
machine for
but it
ancient
actually
gelato.
took us 5 hours to make only one flavor. And while I feel
Jeez.
for Juliana having to do this 8 times every day for each flavor, I can't wait to taste the one I worked for today. So let's get to it.
It's like, I want my flavor specifically.
Adesso ti faccio assaggiare quello per cui hai lavorato
It's like, never said it was for me.
Sì, ma anche l'aspetto comunque. Ha l'aspetto di una crema. Sembra più uniforme.
Buono.
Claudia, lo sai che potrei assumerti?
Promossa, si è assunta.
No, buono. Mi ricorda, adesso un ricordo un po' romantico, però mi ricorda quando io e mio fratello in campagna andavamo a schiacciare le mandorle con le pietre. You know what I just said about making one flavor taking 5 hours? Well, this tasting part was no joke either. Giuliana and Vincenzo are very serious about letting me taste every single flavor. Giuliana keeps scooping some more gelato for me. And a special mention goes to... Questo è pistacchio.
Assaggialo.
Questo è buonissimo.
I'm a big fan of pistachio, honestly.
Non sa di
I don't know, it just doesn't hit for me.
Crema di pistacchio. I really thought we ended with a bang.
She actually quits to make gelato. Yeah, we just never see her again.
After all, the King's Scepter. This one takes 3 days to make and is made from Iranian saffron. Juliana serves it in a cone filled with cream and pistachio paste. She then covers the gelato.
Probably costs $1 million to get if it's made from saffron. Of course, there's probably gold leaf on it.
Around 1,200 trays of baklava every week.
Oh yeah.
And Master Chef Mehmed Akıncıoğlu has to pay careful attention to every
Baklava.
step of the process.
Ufak bir şeyden baklava şey olur mu dedim, oluyor yani. Olur yani. Usta bir baklavacı olmak 5 ile 10 yıl arası değişir.
So like, baklava is one of those things where like
Akıncıoğlu baklava to see how it makes its baklava in such
I
big
don't have it very often, but it
batches.
is nice. It's one of those things where it's like I don't like touching it,
The
but I
day
do
begins
like
at
eating
5
it, if it
a.m.,
makes sense. And it's
making
because
the
it's really
daily dough.
sticky.
Hard wheat flour, water, eggs, and salt are added into a mechanical mixer.
But like,
and
if I can
combined for
bullshit my
20
way
to
and not having to
25
touch it with my hands, it is really nice.
Once soft, the dough is taken out, cut, weighed, and kneaded into small discs that are left to rest for another 20 to 25 minutes.
Oh.
Beklemedikten sonra da hamurun belli kıvamı, o beklediği kıvamı bulduktan sonra da makine bölümüne geçiyoruz.
The discs are loaded into the dough sheeter and run back and forth to flatten and elongate them.
Tabii bu makineyi kullanmak da ayrı bir şey.
I've got to admit, I do like baklava. It is really nice.
Sağa sola gitmesini şey yapıyoruz.
Anything that's just pistachio flavored always comes out tasting like dirt to me.
Hamurumuzu belli
But
dediğimiz
baklava's always been nice.
sonra da
Then again, it probably helps as well. Baklava's one of those few things where I haven't had it very often, but like every time I do have it, it's specifically because like an Indian co-worker of mine or someone, like someone who comes from an Indian background, has brought some in from home and been like, "You want some?" So it's like, I think the only reason that I do like baklava is because it's probably one of the few international sweets that like every time I've had it, though rare, it's always been like by someone who actually knows how to fucking make it. Not just like some store-bought shit. I think like the last time I had it, it's like one of the lads in engineering, because he's got an Indian background, and he brought it in, and it's like, oh, it's damn good. I think like it was either his like mum or his aunt cooked it, but it was like, you know, like it was homemade baklava, and I was like, all right, this is pretty good. It's like, I want to cut my fingers off and throw them in the trash from how sticky they are, but my mouth says yay.
The thinly rolled dough is then brought to a table to fill each pan.
Tika's like, nom 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 nom.
Buraya bu bölüme gelerekten bu şekilde gelen
Looks
hamurlarımızı
like a cloth.
taban bölümünü bu şekilde döşüyoruz. Döşeme yapıyoruz. Bu hamurun ölçütü yok. Ne kadar inceltirebilirse
I don't think I've had kunafa.
fayda varsa. Bundan sonra gördüğünüz gibi elimiz dahi gözükecek derecede incelmiş durumda. Bu tabi bunu inceltmek de ustaların marifetini gösteriyor, gerektiriyor. Ne kadar da incelirse o kadar hamurun baklavamız kışır ve güzel olur.
That thin dough is impressive as all hell. That just looks like cloth at that point.
15, 16, 17 kat kadar hamur döşüyoruz. Tepsi nebatlarına göre değişiyor bu tabi. Daha sonra süt kaymağı dediğimiz imritle yapmış olduğumuz kaymağı bir kat tabanına yatırıyoruz. Daha sonra ise
Next, a mountain of special buds pistachios is added into the tray.
Bu fıstığın özelliği ağaçta daha tam olmadan, yani ağaçta fıstık tam dolgunlaşmadan toplanmış olmasıdır. Toplamdan dolayı bu ağaçlar fıstık taze
That's a
ve daha
special
genç
pistachio.
bir şekilde elde ediliyor. Ve dolayısıyla çekildiği zaman bu fıstık müthiş bir reha, müthiş bir koku elde ediyorsun fıstıkla.
All of the pistachios Mehmet uses are harvested locally and picked within 10 to 15 days of sprouting.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I
Daha
would be
sonra
so
olursa
tempted.
fıstık dolgunlaşıyor. Dolgunlaşırsa o içerisindeki dediğimiz o rehayı, o şeyi, o yeşilliği, o rengi alamıyoruz fıstıktan.
The pistachios are topped with another 15 to 20 layers of dough before they are taken to the slicing section.
Oh.
Here, Mehmet and his team add the final layers of dough to the top of the baklava and laminate each layer with melted butter. As with the pistachios, Mehmet carefully selects his butter from sheep that have been grazing on mountain plants. To retain its flavor, the butter is melted with steam.
Belli ısıya geliyor.
Nom,
Isı ne
nom,
fazla olacak
nom,
ne az
nom.
olacak. Eğer fazla olursa baklavamızın yüzü çökük olur. Az olursa da yine
Alright.
baklavamız kabarmaz. Yani kabarmadığım kabarıklığı elde
I
edemeyiz.
wouldn't mind
Ve şu
trying
an
that at
tekrar
some
bir dilim
point.
işlemlerine başlayalım. Ver Abdullah. Bunu da tekrar yüzlüğünü çekerken süpürgenin ucunu
If I ever become
bastırıyoruz.
loaded, I'd love to go all over the world and try all the tasty
Çekiyoruz.
sweets.
Bunları da böyle bu hamurumuzun açılırken en ortak kısmı, ince kısmı, en kıymetli yeri. Onun için bunu da en üstüne atıyoruz.
That dough is so impressively thin. Like, even before I tried baklava, I've always thought like just the fact it's such thin dough is so fucking impressive.
Once the last layer of
Yes,
dough
Pixie
is applied, bakers
feast!
cut the excess and slice strips across the tray.
One day,
Then
day.
they coat the tray in another layer of butter and cut it again into its famous diamond shape. The baklava is now ready to bake. Mehmet uses a traditional stone oven filled with oak wood to cook the baklava.
Derecesi de yine modern dereceler var ama biz yine eski usul ustalarımızdan gördüğümüz elimizi içimize sokaraktan, bakaraktan, sayaraktan şey yapabiliyoruz. Yoksa da normal eski usul de var, yeni derece de var. Yeni derecelerle söyleyecek olursak da bu 270-280 derecelerde baklavamız pişiyor.
Each tray bakes for 25 to 35 minutes depending on the style of the baklava and how thick it is. Once cooked, the baklava rests for up to 40 minutes.
Oh.
The baked baklava is placed on a burner to get the bottom crispy. When it achieves the right color and consistency, it's time to sweeten the dish. But if there's not enough sugar, the baklava will be too soft and dry. And if there's too much, it will lack the right crispness and flavor.
Son aşamada şekeri gevşek verdiğiniz zaman baklava hamurla hamursuzu oluyor. Sert verdiğiniz zaman sert bir lezzeti, istediğiniz lezzeti alamıyorsunuz. Bu şekerin tam olup olmadığını buradan bakaraktan
All the syrup.
anlıyoruz. Eğer iyiyse tamam, değilse de tekrar
Ghost
biraz
is
su
like,
ilave
now
ederekten
this is my
şey
stuff.
yapıyoruz. Devam ediyoruz.
I think it's specifically that syrupy glaze that gives it that sticky texture. So it's literally like the only thing is the stickiness, which is why I don't get it more too often. Because like every time I touch the stickiness, my brain screams.
Baklava açtır, baklava göz nurudur, emektir.
But it is tasty
Dünyanın
treats.
en lezzetli tatlısıdır.
After 3 hours of prep and cooking, the baklava is ready to eat.
Yes, you're home, you're free.
Yani normal bir 3 kilo tepsiden bahsedecek olursak yani 25-30 porsiyon gibi çıkar yani.
It's believed that baklava was adapted from a savory layered pastry known as börek, which was popular across Central Asia in the 11th century. Over time,
I've had
it's
bullocks
believed that
before.
it was combined with the Arab practice of soaking pastries and donuts in honey or sugar syrup. Some of the earliest mentions of baklava in Turkey come from the 1400s. It was enjoyed by sultans during the Ottoman Empire and remains a popular dish among locals today.
You know what? I can understand why that's enjoyed amongst kings. The amount of effort that's got to be put into it.
Orijinal fıstık kullanmaları ve yağının çok kaliteli olmasından dolayı buraya baklava yemeye geliyorum. Tatlı hayatımda önemli bir yere sahip. Çok severim.
Buranın bölgesinden olduğu için hamuru olsun, fıstığı olsun, lezzeti başka şehirde bulamazsın buradaki lezzeti. Değişik şehirlere git, bu lezzeti buradaki lezzeti orada bulamazsın. Antep baklavasının özelliği çıtır diye ses gelir. Ve ağzında dağılır. Hoş bir tat bırakır.
I mean, hey, you know you're in the right place when the locals are like, yeah, this is the good shit.
Tabii ki ekip olması gerekiyor. Her alanda çalışan
When folks who come from the same background as the food turn around and they're like, this is the good shit, you know it's the good shit.
Yoksa bu istenilen lezzeti, istenilen tadı yakalayamıyoruz yani. Baklava yaparken en önemli öğrendiğim ders işini severek yapmak.
Oh my god. That's it. That's it. That's all 21 snackies. Snacking it out. Alright, now I'm curious about these stationery awards. Let's copy this. Let's paste this. Alright, so these are apparently the winner of the stationery awards. We can watch one more after this, but like this has literally been in my head since Ghosty stuck it in my head hours ago. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we've got... Okay, so 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓 highlighter set. I usually like my midliners, but I might have a look at that. Ink pen. Oh, fancy. Oh my god, literally the entire bundle. Let's have a look. Oh, so it's an ice cube stamp. Cute. Mechanical pencil. $82. Fuck, that's an expensive mechanical pencil. Jeez. Holy shit. Alright, we got pencil case. Oh, it's a bendy pencil case. Nice. Oh, right, it extends and stuff. That's pretty cool. Ooh, whoa, $43 for a multi-ink pen. Shit. Whew. Halotone stickers. Oh, oh, so they're all like, the stickers are little color dots. Okay, that's actually really smart. I want to have a closer look at that. All right, sticky notes. All right, eight multiple mechanical. Okay, that's kind of awesome. I want to look at that. Let's see. Box opener. Nice. Never have too many box openers. Does a mechanical pencil make dinner too? Yeah, I mean, for that price, you better hope it takes you out and wines and dines you. All right, so like a tray for Duda, memory tray. Oh, so I think that's like a desk tray or something. Ooh, we got a fountain pen. Let's have a look at that one. All right, specifically just the ring binder. Like, nothing in it, just the binder. All right. UFO pencil case. All right, all right. Let's have a look at these. All right, so these are the highlighters. Oh, they've got little guide smushies. Look, if you look closely, right? Let me... All right, I can't make big. But they've got little plastic guide things to be like, draw a straight line, loser. There we go. Yeah, see, they got like a plastic guide on it. All right, I'll admit. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Okay. Oh, and they've even got like a bullet point on the butt. Oh, not bad. Not bad. I'm like very happy with my mild liners, but these are still really cool. Like, it's the kind of thing where like I'd want to get it, but like I know it's just me being a consumerist thought. But that's nice. Not bad. Not bad. It's what the binder can do for you. It's the binder of your soul. Alright, got some stampies, got some pens. Got them things. So this is apparently the stationery bundle. It's not bad. It's spency. Alright, so these are like these are like little color dot stickers. Alright, I'll admit it's stupid creative to have them in like a palette. I think that's really cool. And they're like see-through color dot stickers for like your planners and shit. So I do think that's actually really cool. Oh shit, you can even write on them. Alright, I can see why these got a stationery award. That's kind of genius, not gonna lie. Because they come in like a heap of different colors and stuff. Okay, I kind of love that. I do think that is really creative. I think that's really cool. Alright, that one I can completely understand why it's won an award. Now, what the fuck is this 8 multicolor pencil? It's a pencil? Or is it a pen? Was it a pencil? It's a pencil. Oh. I don't know how I feel about a multi-core pencil. Like, my brain says it should be pen, but it's a pencil. 8 pencil, 8 colors specifically. Oh. My brain doesn't like that. There's just a tiny part of my brain that's just like, it's supposed to be a pen, though. I mean, good on it. It's definitely innovative, but it's also $125. Fuck me. Jeez. It's like, oh, that pencil looking a bit weird. I'll be honest, I think I would be more bricked if I saw someone using it. Like, seeing it as a concept is like, huh. But if I saw someone using it and just casually switching out colors while doing a pencil drawing, I think my brain would short circuit. Does the pencil come with life advice? Yeah, the advice is you shouldn't have bought the pencil. Alright, 135 for this fountain pen. That's pretty normal for fountain pens. They're usually wanky prices. It's very cool, though. Alright, this one's kind of funny. UFO pen case. Okay, you gotta admit, this one's kind of funny. Oh god, the cow's even like on a little silicone strappy thing. Okay, that's kind of funny. This one's pretty great. I kind of want that, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love that. That is hilarious. Holy shit. You stick your little clippies in the top and your little pens in the bottom. Okay, yeah, that's sick. That's sick. That's the winner to me. My heart and soul says UFO pencil case. Period. End of sentence. I want the blue one. If I was 5 years younger, I'd buy that. You're never too young for UFO pencil case. Never. Oh, Jesus. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, damn. That's 2 fire trucks. Someone's on fire. Yeah. I never left my alien phase. Even the novel I am working on, if you look at it, like from the main angle, all right, it's like an isekai into like a Gehenna flavored world, into like a hell flavored world. However, technically, all the main characters can be considered aliens. It was an alien story all along. Yeah. Aliens are awesome. Oh yeah, I'm currently like literally at the moment I'm currently like working on overhauling my story, and by that I'm like overhauling one of the storylines, because like the others are doing all right. There's one storyline that was falling flat a lot, and so I'm overhauling it, and it's like basically the best way to put it is the storyline originally was character kind of gets embroiled in a military thing, but like then she kind of just is there for like a good while in the story. She's just kind of there and doing training and shit, whereas like everyone else is like on life-threatening adventures and she's just kind of there. Even while I was writing her, I was like, I don't know what to do with you, so I'm just going to occasionally remind the audience she's there. And so I'm rewriting her at the moment. And essentially, the best way to put it is her character's gone from like a serious but slightly hot-headed character into specifically a character inspired by early 2000s Avril Lavigne. And I am having a fucking blast rewriting it. It's like, yeah, now the character's got spunk. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing behind the scenes. It's like, I think in the second draft, I'm about 2/3 through now. Because like for the newer folks here, the folks basically who haven't been listening to me yap about this shit since last October, I've been working on it since I'm working on it since last August, but I only started like letting myself yap about it since like last October. And it is an epic adventure fantasy with thriller elements, where 4 humans get sent to, I guess, like, sent to, like, a twist on hell, kind of like, basically the only thing hellish about it is, like, there's a bunch of hell puns occasionally, and, the characters have horns, that's really it. There's just, like, hints of it, that's it. But, like, yeah, and so it's, like, an epic fantasy. It's going to be a light novel, and I'm about 2/3 through the second draft. And once I finish that, it'll be third draft, and then I'll be able to start getting ready to release it, which will be really cool. Yeah, literally, like, they have horns, doesn't sound... Like, I think it's probably more accurate to say at this point, it's more like full characters get isekai'd to another world where all of the inhabitants have horns. That's probably a better way to put it now. To get put in an absolute hellish landscape where they have to fight to survive against cannibals and the horrible threat of the environment, and to get put into kind of a post-apocalyptic landscape, where one ends up staying in the city and dealing with the underground city's problems, whereas the other one keeps getting sent out into the fog, which can basically send you into a permanent coma if you breathe it in, so it can soft kill you. And the catch is the 2 in the hellish landscape are the younger siblings of the 2 in the post-apocalyptic landscape. And there's also another storyline that's just like a really dumb boy-fail prince coming into his own, basically. And that's the story, which like doesn't explain shit, but basically, yeah. I'm still early days, but that's what I'm working on at the moment. All right. Let's watch one more video, and it's called Why Chocolate is More Expensive Than Ever.
This factory is behind the biggest chocolate manufacturer in the world.
Cookies!
We make enough chocolate in 4 days to equal the weight of the Statue of Liberty.
Jesus
Here
fuck!
they pump out 45,000 tons of Snickers and peanut M&Ms every year.
Right, Snickers is pretty good though.
But this year, the cocoa beans needed to make chocolate have gotten a lot more expensive.
The price of cocoa on the global market did skyrocket to historical highs.
A dire bean shortage in 2024 pushed the price to an all-time high of over $12,000 a metric ton.
It never has happened before. Nobody was able to predict that we would ever.
Explains why chocolate's disgustingly expensive these
Consumers
days.
are already seeing candy bars hit shelves with a little less chocolate. So what's causing the surge in cocoa prices? And what does this mean for chocolate lovers?
Beef for them M&Ms.
Joseph Sasu starts harvesting his 17 acres of cocoa in the central region of Ghana in October. Inside this healthy pod are the pearly white cocoa beans that will become chocolate. But in the last few years, Joseph has been finding more sick pods like this, completely black or covered in white fuzz.
Yeah.
They've been infected with an incurable virus called swollen shoot. Tiny mealybugs spread the virus as they feed on the sap of the cocoa trees. Once it takes hold, the leaves can become discolored or die back.
No!
Stems might swell.
Fucking bugs!
And smaller pods may form. After a few years, swollen shoot can kill the plant.
Oh my god, guys. Okay, to be fair, the mascots
Ghana
are
and
so
Ivory
cursed.
Coast grow more than half of the world's cocoa crop. But for the third straight season, there hasn't been enough cocoa to meet global demand. This year, farmers are projected to harvest over 700,000 metric tons less than the previous season. Now, nearly a third of cocoa farmland in Ghana is infected.
Damn.
20 bars korano make say imu half the etuguye.
The only way to stop the spread is by cutting down the infected trees and planting new ones, which can take 4 years to grow fruit.
Imagine from a smallholder's perspective, you're faced with a choice of eliminating your potential to earn an income, or keeping that tree going for as long as you can.
That's Christy Liesel, a 20-year veteran chocolate scholar.
The longer you keep a tree around with swollen shoot virus, the more chance it has to spread to surrounding trees.
Fucking bugs.
Joseph has already removed about 1,500 infected trees within the last 5 years.
Ruining the goods. Lobbing. Fucking bugs.
Another problem is that Ghana's land is also rich in gold. And more illegal mining operations called Galamsey have been taking up land that used to grow cocoa trees. These miners have been known to intimidate farmers into selling their land.
Back off, you gold-hungry cocks. We need our chockies.
Sometimes they'll take over farms without asking at all. That's what happened to Janet. Armed guards kept her out while miners cut down nearly all of her 6,000 trees to dig gold.
Oh, fuck.
They left her land barren and poisoned.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Over and over again, I have had cocoa farmers really on the verge of tears, explaining to me that they are no longer able to sell cocoa even if they've retained their own land.
Galamsey has been growing since the 2000s. Many illegal mines are operated by Chinese companies that have brought in equipment to speed up production and convert farms faster. And more cocoa farms are selling their land in part due to an economic crisis that sent inflation skyrocketing to 54% in 2022.
We know that cocoa farmers are very often constrained for cash. This may look like an attractive option if you are really stuck.
Maybe you should pay the cocoa farmers a bit better.
Joseph has refused to sell to Galamsey, even though his trees have been struggling. Parts of Ghana are facing their worst drought in 40 years. Other parts of the country have dealt with heavy rainfall that spoiled beans. Last year, Joseph made less than $1,800 from his farm.
Jeez.
And while cocoa prices are spiking globally because of the shortage, farmers aren't necessarily benefiting from that. That's because they have to sell every single bean they grow to the country's cocoa board, known as the 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫. The organization was created in 1947 to protect farmers from volatile global prices. At the beginning of each season, 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫 sets the price it will pay farmers for their beans. When the price goes down globally, farmers still get the set amount from 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐻𝐶. But if the price goes up, they won't benefit from that. 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐻𝐶 is the only organization allowed to market and export Ghana's beans. Its biggest clients are the world's largest chocolate companies, mostly in Europe and North America. 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐻𝐶 negotiates contracts with these companies to deliver beans months in the future. That's called the futures market. Because of the shortages, cocoa beans reached a record $12,000 per metric ton in April 2024 on the futures market, more than 5 times what farmers were making then. So some farmers started turning to the black market, selling their crops to smugglers who could pay them more. In an attempt to stop that, 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐻𝐶 in September increased what it pays farmers to about $3,000 per metric ton. Cocoa's future price has dropped since April, but it's still about double what it was a year ago.
Don't be greedy.
It's a price cocoa processors in Ghana are struggling to pay. Most of West Africa's beans don't stay on the continent. They're exported to the US and Europe, where large multinational corporations turn the beans into valuable chocolate bars.
I know, right, Ghosty, honestly.
If you look at the value chain of cocoa, money is made in the finished product.
It's one of those things that you don't really think about because it's everywhere, but like,
beans.
At the end of the day, like, if they run out of trees, they run out of trees.
Set up to process cocoa in Ghana because it's so expensive to do it. Lloyd's been pushing to keep more chocolate production inside his country.
We are not consuming our own raw material, so we are pushing for the consumption of our chocolate in Africa.
This year, that goal got harder. Niche and most Ghanaian factories had to stall production at some point in 2023 because they couldn't afford beans. Despite being much closer to farms, Ghanaian processors have to pay the same price as foreign companies when buying beans from 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐻𝐶. For now, almost all of Lloyd's business is making semi-finished products like cocoa butter and cocoa mass. But he wants to make more finished chocolate bars.
I'm not going to pride myself in shipping chocolates to Europe. No. I want my chocolate to be consumed in Africa.
The cocoa crop took hold in Ghana in the 1870s. Around the same time, the British declared the southern region
Hey, I mean, you can get chocolate flavored anything.
In the century that followed, cocoa production exploded. Locals owned and ran all the small farms.
Oh, they'd never let it go extinct. It's a gold mine.
Exclusively exported to Europe.
A lot of what we know today as contemporary chocolate really grew out of this trading relationship between Ghana and Britain, including the flavor of chocolate itself.
Although Ghana gained its independence in 1957, it still exports most of its beans abroad, with half ending up in Europe. This has left West Africa with just 5% of the $200 billion chocolate industry, despite it growing about 3/4 of the world's cocoa. And the global surge in price this year has made it even harder for Ghana to change that.
This really is a setback with the whole agenda. Last 2 years, the outputs even from these artisanal chocolate makers have also had a nosedive.
Michael runs Fair Afrique, a chocolate maker in Amanasi, Ghana. While he had to dish out a lot more cash for beans, he didn't have to shut down or pause production.
We had to make tough decisions as a company to still stay afloat.
When we filmed with him 2 years ago, Fair Afrique was focused on making finished chocolate bars, pumped into molds in temperature-controlled rooms. But to stay afloat, Michael has pivoted to making chocolate drops, which he sells mostly in Europe to the baking and ice cream industries.
We are doing up to 60% of the container space for just drops. As we stand right now, we are completely sold out for chocolate drops for next year.
Michael is also focusing on countries like South Africa, which has less competition from big chocolate makers.
Hi Surin, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it, thank you. And welcome.
So how is all
Claiming
of
I'm a
this affecting
chalky
prices
bra.
and production in the U.S.? One of New York City's oldest chocolate houses had to cut costs too.
Well, we use a high percentage of cocoa in our product, right? And so I think that's why we're probably getting hit harder.
Anthony Cerrone co-owns the century-old company Lilac Chocolate.
Yeah, sometimes my third hand pops out to say hello.
Cargill in Minnesota.
Welcome,
one of the
Sidian.
world's
Welcome, Ozzy.
largest
How are
chocolate
you?
processors.
We melt it down, we temper it, and we use it as an ingredient in our recipes. We renewed our chocolate contract this year. Our prices were up 62% versus last year. As you can imagine, that was a big hit.
Anthony had to raise prices on a few items in March, but most of his sweets haven't seen an increase.
We made the decision to, accept lower margins through the season. That means through Christmas. Some of our items.
Oh, that's that
haven't taken a
lilac
price
place that
increase
they
for
were
2
there
years.
before.
And despite the chocolate prices, we decided not to.
Luckily, the company saw a 9% increase in sales this year, which has helped. And Anthony hopes he'll see another bump this fall and holiday season.
We're in Halloween season now, but the day
God,
after
it'd be a
Halloween,
horrible world if
Thanksgiving items are
only
gonna show
white
up, so we're making
chocolate
items like our
remained.
turkeys. This one's 13.5 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah, it's 8 pounds, almost 9.
That's
to
a
make
chunky.
these huge sculptures, workers paint on colorful details with dyed white chocolate.
So they'll do one color, put it in the cooler, bring it out, do the second color, and so forth.
They build them up from this fountain for the shell. Lilac has about 1,000 specialty molds in its collection.
The Empire State Building.
Ooh, that sounds
the chocolate
lovely,
pizza
Ozzy.
slice. These are very popular. We have a car collection. Here we have
Okay, my
whales.
response to that goes
We
is,
make
fuck
these
you.
delicious chocolate high heels that come painted. And we also make these chocolate handbags.
Chocolate
But more than
baggy.
half of the company's store sales come from treats in the cases. Nonpareils, truffles, chocolate-covered pretzels,
I want a chalky
Workers
covered
pipe.
pretzel.
unmold, and package, each one by hand.
Everything that we do here is old school. There's a lot of labor involved.
The Brooklyn factory makes 175,000 pounds of chocolate a year and has followed the same recipes since the 1920s.
Almond bark is probably our #1 best-selling product of everything that we make. It's got 2 ingredients, chocolate and almonds.
Still, Anthony isn't sure he'll be able to hold pricing on these handmade products if cocoa gets more expensive.
If chocolate prices continue to go up next year, that's going to affect our business, and at some point we'll probably have to take price increases, but we're trying to hold off as long as we can.
At least he's shooting his best
Multinational
shot.
chocolate companies are also pivoting.
Fuck you.
The big companies have more options for managing that price
I
increase.
know, it
Use
looks
less
so
cocoa
yummy.
in their products.
Honestly, same,
Other
Bixie. I'm an
stuff into your
absolute
product.
thought for
Nuts,
chocolate.
Marshmallows.
In 2020, Mondelez dropped the size of many of its Cadbury chocolate bar multi-packs. In 2019, Hershey's cut down its 18-ounce Kisses pack by almost 2 ounces. Hershey's also launched a new chocolate frosted donut Kit Kat that's just dipped in chocolate, not completely coated, and a Reese's cup filled with caramel as well as peanut butter. In 2023, Nestle shrunk its fun-sized Kit Kat bars by 17% in Australia. Mars
Yeah.
Wrigley slimmed down its Galaxy chocolate bar in the UK by 10 grams. We visited Mars Wrigley's chocolate factory in Topeka, Kansas, which makes Snickers, Milky Ways,
Wrinklification.
and peanut M&Ms.
It's a pressure, but it goes through cycles like every other commodity.
Tim Lavelle, Mars Wrigley's chief Halloween officer, yes, that's his real title, maintains that the company hasn't touched its recipes in the US.
Before we pass on a price increase to a consumer,
Oh, yeah, it
we
doesn't
look
touch
at
it in the
every
US, of
possible
course.
angle to take costs out of the system in a responsible way.
The company said it can
Got
turn
it.
to cutting
If you-
manufacturing and material
just
costs.
trail of
if cocoa
chockies and you'll
prices
get
go up.
Pixie.
Mars Wrigley says it has increased its suggested pricing for retailers.
Like any company, there's been pricing over the last couple of years done in a way where we believe it's a responsible way to do it.
When we visited the factory, it was producing enough candy each day to stretch about 120 miles.
This year, we are going to make the most Halloween candy that we've ever made in Topeka.
Mars's Topeka factory gets the majority of its cocoa from West Africa and makes 1.5 million pounds of chocolate in-house every week. Its Milky Ways
Jeez.
are nougat and caramel and robed in chocolate.
Our Three Musketeers Milky Way line, it's actually our largest and longest fill bar line in the world for Mars Wrigley.
Mars Snickers are milk chocolate filled with caramel and peanuts. And while regular M&Ms are mostly milk chocolate, the peanut ones are mostly, well, nuts.
Every day we roast enough peanuts that equal to the weight of a fire truck.
Jeez.
The peanuts get coated in chocolate.
That's a
and
lot
then
of
covered in a
peanuts.
colorful candy shell made of sugar.
Yeah, a lot of people believe that the color of the M&M makes the flavor change, but really it doesn't. They're the exact same flavor in all the colors.
While workers aren't allowed to taste test straight off the line, they can do visual checks every hour.
They're making sure that the product is the right size, the right shape, the right decorations, has M's on them, that the colors are right. And if something looks wrong, all of our associates have the authority to shut the line down.
A meter makes sure each bag is getting the right amount of each color.
My wife is never sick of me bringing home chocolate or coming home smelling like chocolate.
But Mars Wrigley is seeing a trend that could bring some hope.
We have some of our fastest growing items in the fruity section.
In its annual report, the company found that while chocolate was still its favorite, gummies, fruit, and sour candies were more popular among younger generations.
We're very fortunate where we have 3 platforms for our fruity business. We have Lifesavers, Starburst, and Skittles. Sours is a big thing right now, so we're looking to introduce sour-based products in the gummy area.
That dude looks
Mars
kind of
Wrigley
unhinged,
also
am
found
I
that
right?
Younger customers like variety.
Like the
So
corporate
company
guy, he
launched these
just there's
packs for
just
Halloween,
something about
which
him that
include
looks
both
unhinged.
chocolate and gummies.
So I think we're well positioned to
Oh,
take on
no.
any
Do you have
headwinds
an
or
allergy?
tailwinds
No.
that come our way.
But what does all this mean for
Sour
customers?
candy is pretty good.
Well, besides maybe a little less cocoa in your chocolate bar, you might also have to shell out some extra cash. Hershey's and Cadbury have also raised prices, meaning your money might not go as far to fill up your Halloween bucket this year.
The best thing you can do is to prepare your expectations for some kind of change. That may be fewer bars on shelves, may mean that your best loved chocolate candy looks a little bit different. I think we have been living with this chocolate as an everyday luxury for generations now. So I think that it is probably wise for people to start thinking of chocolate as something a little bit more precious than we have done in the past.
I'm watching them for the Nom Nom Tasty, not the Nom Nom Existential Crisis. By the way, you're not gonna have chocolate anymore. Fuck you. Yeah, you're just getting way too into the supply. Ah, I mean, I'm the right side. I'm glad that you're able to solve your migraine issue, but also, yeah, and I love how it's like specifically safe red 40. No, white chocolate's disgusting. But yes, I think here is probably a good place to call it for tonight because it's about 11 p.m. Fuck you. Yeah, because like pretty much everything has artificial color in it these days, so you'd probably have to go for like really organic shit. So- Organic or vegan. Woof. All right, let's think. All right, so I think here's a good place to call it. So let me just have a browser-rooney. Do 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 do. This person. Oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare. Bright side though is like going for it means you don't get sick, which is the important part. But still, ugh. Still, hi Dandy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, see, it's one hand. It was one hand all along. But also, congrats on becoming the beloved companion. Fuck yeah, Rayra, let's go. All right, can I trouble you, Rayra, to just like post in Gen Chat in the Discord? Doesn't matter what it is, even if you just like say banana or something. Basically, if you post in Gen Chat, I'm not hunting through the names to find you. I can just give you the role straight away. So, like, say literally whatever you want. But yeah, specifically in Gen Chat in the Discord. Because also, like, in the Discord, it is like we change each other's names all the fucking time. Oh, yeah. All right. And rolls. Beloved companion, the clout is yours. I repeat, the clout is now yours. So you should have the role. And when you appear online, you will appear on the beloved companion section. All right. Let me start the raid. Okie dokie. So we're going to raid an artist called 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓𝐮𝐞𝐫, which is an adorable username. All right. Sweet, I've got the right person. All righty, let me just pop over to my end streamy bit and maybe stick some background noise. There we go. But yes, thank you guys very much for coming to join me for my impromptu. Hey guys, look, food stream. I'm sure that we are all now very hungry, craving snackies, or being glad that we never ate anything in the first place. Depends on your opinion of the snackies. Probably gonna end up doing these streams more. Like I'll probably just like do this kind of shit like whenever I'm tired but I want to stream, or like whenever I'm like, man, I've got a stream plan tonight but I'm dead. And it's like, boom, snackies. Oh my god, go see it, just going like a bunch of pirates. Hand over your chocolates, I'm hungry. Yes, thank you all so much for coming tonight. I hope you have an amazing evening, morning, noon, or night / time zone or whatever. And the next time I will see you guys here is on Friday in 2 days' time at 8 p.m. AEST. Oh no, Yulia, I'm about to raid out. No. No, I'm raiding out, but still thank you for the raid. I appreciate it.